And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Loves Gymnastics Network, brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an episode of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, hosted by Michaela Loves Gymnastics and her good Judy, Oscar. And Ezra and Shayna may or may not come on tonight. I'm not 1000% sure. But you know who is on? I am on, and Oscar is on. And we have some topics to talk about. So what we're going to talk about, we're going to give y'all NCAA preview. I know we gave you a brief preview Monday, but we're going to go into a little bit more depth. And it's just me and Oscar, so, just feels and opinions. And then I have some other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about, should the Phelps vault be named after J.C. Phelps? I never even thought about it before, but then, friend to the show, one of my personal favorite YouTube accounts, and I know they done moved mainly over to just doing things on Patreon, but still, just one of my favorite accounts of gymnastics is the Soviet gymnastics connoisseur, and we have a video from him that I want to play that I never even thought about. Should the Phelps vault be named after J.C. Phelps? He made his points. I don't really have any counterpoints to it other than it was just great gymnastics knowledge that I feel like I'm so stuck on this damn Lopez vault. I never even paid this damn vault any attention. So we will talk about that. Y'all see the topics in the show title. We will get into those things. I did a solo show yesterday about 2012 versus 2024 and which team is the superior team. And I stand by my opinion, so we could talk about that. So we got some things to talk about. We should have a very fun, interesting show. I'm literally rolling my joint up right now. So, yeah, it's going to be that kind of show. So, Oscar, how have you been?
Hi, Michaela. I've been pretty good overall. Yeah, things are pretty good. Everything, given the givens, all things considered. How have you been?
Things are okay for me so far. We will see in a few months, but for right now, things are okay.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Nisha. Good to see you.
Hi, Nisha. How are you doing? Are you ready for the Super Bowl of gymnastics this weekend, which is LSU versus Oklahoma, which is, I'm not going to say it's the only gymnastics event going on this weekend, but it's definitely the premier gymnastics event. Like, I don't think, I'm definitely going to go. Well, yeah, we're going to read the schools and the matchups this weekend over again, but yeah, I think that's definitely the premier matchup of the weekend.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch one meet this weekend from the NCAA, it should be LSU versus Oklahoma to see if Oklahoma can be defeated. Is it?
Yeah, I mean they are the only team so far in the SEC about the other schools who are undefeated. Well, I mean, yeah, I think they're the only school that hasn't lost to anybody this season. So
In
that's
the whole
always
nation?
fun. Yes, I think so. So, Oscar, are you using your computer?
I am. Yeah.
Do you mind sharing this screen for me? Can you go to college gym fan, college gym news, go to schedule for this? Yeah.
What do you want me to pull up on college news? The meets?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And the
I have to
reason why I
find a
think,
light for like.
what'd you say?
I need to go find a lighter, so give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Take your time. I'll just clarify what I meant to say. I think that we saw Oklahoma get defeated last season, so it's possible. But I'm hoping for both of the teams to have a clean competition, and I want to see if OU can be defeated when they don't have a meltdown. I think LSU is the most likely team because for a number of reasons, they're the reigning national champions, right? And they're ranked number two in the country by certain rankings. I don't know if they're the official rankings. I'm not totally sure how the rankings work with NCAA, but whichever rankings we were looking at last show, those had LSU in number two. So the schedule. Okay. Here's a schedule. I don't know if it's the schedule. It's not the most concise list. We'll have to scroll, but I think that will be okay.
Yes, let me. Here we go.
Great. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean this is the schedule that everybody gets, right?
Okay, great. I've seen some people, maybe it was like individual Twitter users who took the time to like make a list where they were all just listed in a row, and that was easier to read. But I don't know how to find that right now.
So tonight there is a meet, but we're gonna just scroll past that. Just
But
gonna
look, you can
scroll
watch it. You can watch it for free if you're so inclined.
very so much.
This is collegegymnews.com for everyone who is wondering. Anyone who's wondering. Where should I start? Should I start
Let's
at
just
Eastern
scroll
Michigan?
through them slowly, and then just name the schools, and then when you get to a bit school, stop, and then we can talk about it. Or
Okay,
or matchup that you think we should talk about, just stop and we can talk about it.
sure. And if you see one you want to talk about, let me know. Okay. So tonight, Cortland at Ithaca. That's the 12th. That's the only meet tonight on this list. Then we get to Friday, February 14th. We have Eastern Michigan at Central Michigan. Then we have LIU at Bridgeport.
No problem.
What'd you say?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Stoy. Can I stoy with a vape? Does that Is that qualified?
Yes, it does, I guess.
LIU at Bridgeport. Arkansas, Georgia. This is definitely a notable meet to me.
Oh yeah, at Georgia, we will see if
It's
Arkansas really are those girls. It's a big meet for the SEC in their rankings.
um I feel like there was a week, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure there was a week where most of us ranked had Arkansas and Georgia at number 8 and 9, right? So these are some
Hmm.
bottom tier SEC teams trying to prove their worth and that they're not the number 9 school. Moving
Yeah,
on.
I think
Is that
we
okay?
know who the number 9 school is, which is Alabama right now. But Alabama could win every other matchup in the SEC. We never know.
We never
NC
know.
State is we could keep moving by. We don't have to stop.
Okay. Simpson at UW Stout. Winona State at UW Eau Claire. Temple at Kentucky. That should be entertaining.
It should be entertaining. It's just Temple isn't an SEC school, so it's not affecting Kentucky's SEC ranking if they're beat Temple here. But they could get a good score for their NQS because I think NQS starts this week.
And we love Kirsten Johnson, so we're rooting for her. And Delaney Rodriguez. Okay, Hamline at Gustavus Adolphus. North Carolina at Pittsburgh. Then we have a quad meet at 7:30 p.m. The Jim Quarters Invitational. This is definitely one to note, to write down. Alabama, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. Uh, I guess at Missouri in St. It says in St. Louis, so I'm assuming that's at Missouri's gym or whatever.
Yeah, so because it's Alabama and Missouri, technically it's going to count towards their SEC rankings because they're going against each other. Kind of like how OU have like 10 wins right now because they did like 2 quad meets the first 2 weeks. So we will see if Bama could catch up a little bit because if they can win here, then they have a win in the SEC. Missouri will have a loss in the SEC, and if they win, they will have beaten 3 other schools, which will help their record. Which will all of that's going to get washed out, and it's going to be NQS anyway. So we'll see.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think that was so intuitive to me. So for the SEC rankings, all it takes to qualify as an SEC for it to count towards those rankings for the SEC is just to have 2 schools in the meet that are from the SEC.
I believe so.
But then they still get to count the wins from the non-SEC schools. That's interesting.
Correct. Look at Oklahoma, like how they have 10 wins, but they have 4-0 record in the SEC because in those 2 earlier on quad meets, it was one like the first one was Kentucky, I think was in one of their quad meets. So they got that win over Kentucky to their SEC record plus the win for everything else for their other records.
What you're saying makes perfect sense to me, but I just wanted to note that Nisha is pushing back on that in the comments.
What is she saying?
She said, no, it doesn't count, Mac. Against the SEC, only dual meets count.
Oh, okay.
Please feel free to
Well,
elaborate, Nisha, if you have more details. Oh, she says, the quad meet doesn't count for SEC competition, only the overall record. I guess maybe that's another category, in that all we were looking at all those different categories.
Yeah, because Oklahoma had a 10-0 record for their overall record, so maybe that's what she means.
But I think if I'm remembering correctly, they only had they had 4 wins in the SEC. But I could be wrong.
So maybe this quad meet won't help. What she's basically saying, and I guess I can agree with her, and I guess I'm wrong, is it doesn't help or hurt Alabama or Missouri here because it doesn't count towards the SEC.
And I think we're going to get to it later based off of the title of the show. But I would love to hear at some point, if not now, what the stakes are for, or what the value is in, non-SEC ranking. So maybe we'll save that for.
Okay, we can get into it. The non-SEC rankings is going towards regionals and national championships, right? Each and every school has a conference. And what we've been following over here is the SEC conference championships. Each conference championships in elite gymnastics term, for those who don't know, is like European championships and Pan American Games. Oh, Ezra is here. Pan American Games championships. And,
Hey.
Hi, Urza.
hey, boo, how you doing,
Oh, I'm
love?
good. I just came from a basketball game, but I'm ready. I'm here.
Okay.
Did your school win?
Yes, we're going to finals.
Do you play basketball or you're just there cheering?
I'm like a team manager.
Oh,
Yeah.
does your school have a gymnastics team?
This is the Bahamas, sweetie.
I was the gymnastics manager for my high school team.
Catch up.
Oh, dope.
So basically, what you were talking about before Urza got here was like it's an equivalent of a continental championships, a way to qualify.
Correct. No, it's not a way to qualify. It's just the end of your conference season, right? So in the SEC, there's an SEC championship. The Big Ten, I'm so sorry, there's going to be a Big Ten championships between UCLA, Michigan State, Minnesota, and them girls, right? And they're going to have their own championship. And then in the ACC, there's going to be a championship, and it's going to be between
Cal, Stanford.
Cal. There we go. Them girls over there in the ACC. And there's one more division, but I don't know who they are. I know
The Big 12.
And them is in it. There we
Denver,
go.
Utah, Arizona.
And they're gonna.
So are you saying that in Division 1 there are only 4 or 5 different conferences?
No, they're like 7, but we cover the major 4.
The major 4, okay.
And you can win your conference championship, and it means nothing towards national championship. It's just it's good to win your conference championship. It's a good look for your school. It's a good win to have, just like being European champion is a good win to have. But it's really has nothing to do with national championships. So I don't want people to be like, oh my God, if you win SEC, that means you qualify to national. No, it does not mean that. It has little to nothing to do with national championship. It's another competition they're trying to win within the season.
Okay. So here's 2 more questions because I have so many questions. You know what I mean? How are the matchups or whatever determined for the regionals? And then also what is the point of the NQS system? What is that for?
I can explain this one to Oscar.
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay. So as of regionals, so they from the and from preseason they have the teams like well the rankings in like a ball machine and they pull the rankings out. And so the teams only are left to see who is in which ranking. So let's say Alabama, the 14th ranked team.
And they actually do that on TV, don't they? They air that the pulling of the balls to see where they're going to be ranked.
Yes, it
Right?
was live stream. Yes. And
When
so they
did
already
when
have
did they do that? Has it already been done?
no, they didn't do the official
No,
live
it's
stream.
after.
What was that?
It's after conference championships where they'll do like
It's not
the
until like
official live stream.
yes.
Interesting.
So after
So I'm trying
conference
to figure
championships,
it could be right.
I got. This is a funny shit. Conference championships is the last competition of the regular season. After conference championships, begin the postseason.
Okay. So is there a
So
way that the regionals lineups could be rigged potentially, or is it just based, or you can't rig it because it's rankings and not schools that they're picking?
It can't be rigged. It's rankings done way before the season even starts. So let's say the number one seed already was put in the regionals, so they wouldn't know who's the number one seed, but
no,
they just
but
know the
it
numbers.
already
No,
placed the seeds together in a ranking. So
yeah,
they're like school 1, 4, 5, 7 is going to go here. School 2, 8, 9, 12 is going here, and so on and so forth. So whichever schools end up being in those positions goes to those conference championships. I'm sorry, goes to those regionals.
So what did you mean when you said there's a that it's before the season?
yes, it's done in the preseason. So there's like they already have the teams pit in the regionals, and they do the official live show to tell us which to officially say this team is in this regionals. But most True Jam fans have already like knowledge of the regionals would already know. So yeah,
So the ranking lineups have already been picked.
yes. So they just haven't. Yes,
So I missed that live broadcast or whatever, or they're
no,
gonna do it later.
No, they're going to do it after conference championships when they actually put the schools to the official regional, or what do they call it? The regional selection show or whatever.
yes,
It's going to happen after conference championship.
So it's basically just a reveal. They've already picked the balls out of the cage or whatever.
yes, absolutely.
What
Okay.
it is, okay. Think of it like this: they've already, okay. You know how like, do you know anything about basketball before I even try to do that analogy?
No.
They do the Final Four. Okay,
Yes,
well, let me try another one. Let me try another one. You know how they do in tennis, right? How they have all the players, how they have the seed set up, right? But then it's up to the athlete to put themselves in the right ranking for the seeds, right? It's like they were like, if you do this and you do this, you're gonna go here, right? So it's up to you to be like, okay, well, let me be in this one.
So the schools and the athletes already know the ranking lineups, but the public doesn't.
No, the schools know if they're number one. Not they don't know who's number one yet, but they know if the school is number one and number four and number 8 and number 20,
hmm
they're gonna go to districtionals, but they don't know which schools are in those
yes,
places as of yet. People like you're saying there's a fake judges thing or whatever. People assume what these positions are, but nobody really knows until after the season is over with. Even with NQS, it's all speculations until after conference when they officially announce where the schools are at.
So what's preventing a situation where, let's say, I'm still a bit unclear on if the public knows the ranking lineups, Because what's preventing the schools, a situation where a school, let's say it's already been selected, the top school is going to go against number 15. The second
Mm-hmm.
school is going to go against number 16, but then number 3 is going to go against number 4. You'd want to be 1 or 2, not number 3, right? Or maybe vice versa would make more sense. The top 2 schools will have to go against each other, but number 3 will have to go against number 18. Why would you not? Wouldn't you try to be number 3 then?
You try to place as high as that you can because the higher that you are, the regionals get a little bit easier. Like they make the lesser team regionals more competitive. Where like when OU go to their regionals, they're gonna clear everybody there. Like that's kind of how they do it.
I remember that from past,
Like, we can call it.
but I don't know why it is. But honestly, I've asked so many questions. Now I would like to move on for the sake of the viewers.
But no, we're doing part of the show. We're explaining the NQS, and then this is what makes it even harder because now all of those rankings that people have been making up, it's going to get thrown out
It's
the
not going to
window
mean
because
a
none of that
single
shit,
thing. Not a single thing anymore.
none of that shit absolutely matters anymore after this week. It's going to be NQS, and what NQS is your national qualifying score. And what they do is take your top 3 scores and your bottom 3 scores and average them together. They throw out your number your biggest score and they average those 5 scores together, and then that's how they rank the schools at the end of the day.
I'll just
So,
nod
question:
like I understand.
it's very complicated, but it's important that people get it because when you try to take your elite gymnastics knowledge into the scoring, you have it's so different that a lot of the times people don't know what they're talking about because they're taking what would make sense in elite gymnastics, and that just isn't how it kind of works in college.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't. Clearly.
So this is why they haven't done NQS up until this point. It's the 6 weeks, so now they have 6 qualifying scores
Yes.
to rank the people.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like they're gonna start keeping track of scores moving forward. The first 6 weeks do matter.
They do.
They do matter, but like all of those rankings and stuff that people were doing are out the window because now it's going to be your NQS score that is going to give you the official ranking.
So what Michaela is saying that the team scores
But
do matter. The scores the teams are scoring do matter, but the rankings do not.
The
correct.
rankings,
Like how
well, the
Florida is
rankings
ranked number
determine
30.
who goes to SECs, right?
Your win loss record determines who goes to SEC, not your
Oh, the
ranking.
rankings literally don't mean shit. Okay.
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
But they are going to do SEC rankings based on your win loss. So the thing we read with Shayna
Yes.
on Monday that does matter because that's how they're going to pick the 8 teams who's moving on to the SEC. So that's why I chose at the beginning of the season to follow the SEC a little bit more closely because the SEC is the only conference that is going to kick one school out and they don't have a shot at going for their conference championship when every other conference, every school makes it to conference
Which is
championship.
also,
You may not be.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, which is also a little devilish because let's say a team like Alabama really needed a solid score. So, and they don't have another meet like SEC championship, but they need like to go to that meet and get a solid score to get ranked higher. And so, yeah. So,
Because you get to count your conference championships towards your NQS. It's the last score that you can count.
So it's not just that the SEC is the only conference to kick one team out, they're the only conference to kick any teams out at all.
Correct.
And then,
Because they have the most teams in the SEC. Everybody else is like has like 6 schools.
oh
uh,
no, Big Ten has an even number of, like, I believe 12 schools. So,
Big
I
Big
really-
but
Ten doesn't have 10 schools.
it's now called Big Ten Plus because they are way over 10 schools, but they do 2 sessions.
What about the Big 12? Do they not have 12 schools?
They are under 12.
What
yeah,
the fuck?
they no. That's
Yeah, it's a lot.
8.
Because also gymnastics schools.
But they have 12 schools when you count other sports.
Yeah.
But just gymnastics, I don't think they have 12.
Like
Oh,
SEC has 14 different schools. I believe 14, 16. But gymnastics is 9.
And the NQS determines who's going to nationals.
Yeah. It determines if you make it to regionals, which, regionals determine who makes it
To regionals. I was skipping a step. Okay. Thank you for answering all my
Yes.
questions, you guys.
Do you feel like you have any kind of better understanding? Because I feel like you don't.
No, definitely. You just filled in some of the gaps, not all of them, but like a lot of them. Thank you. What do you think about just rewinding a tiny bit? Who do you think is going?
Okay.
Who is going to win? Who do you think will win, Arkansas or Georgia?
I want Georgia. Ooh, I do want Georgia.
I think
to
Georgia
win.
could
It's
win.
just I think I just feel like Arkansas has a little bit of not momentum right now. That I'm not gonna say I'm scared of them, but I think they could do a little something here.
I would say Georgia has momentum too. They just scored their highest score away, right, of the season.
I know, but Arkansas just beat Florida.
And they're at
And that's
home. Georgia's at home.
Was it back to back? Arkansas beat LSU, and then the next week they beat Florida, or did they lose in between?
They lost in between
Okay, so they're inconsistent.
to Auburn.
Do we think Kentucky is gonna wash Temple?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, I'm sorry, Kirsten.
But at least we'll get to see Kirsten on a big screen.
Such a good
That's
point.
true.
Yeah.
And she could still win all the event titles, right? We pray.
Florida.
Well,
Florida really, because Kentucky is.
Oh, that's right. She only exhibited beam, and I don't think she's done bars yet. But she's working back towards the all-around program. She said. What do you think about any predictions for this quad meet? Alabama, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri.
Missouri needs to clear Alabama.
But I think Alabama might got something up their sleeve.
They might.
Who's more likely to upset Alabama, Illinois, or Iowa?
Iowa. But they won't. But Iowa.
Okay. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, Centenary and Northern Illinois at SEMO. Okay. Greenville at Illinois State. Stanford at Southern Utah.
Stanford.
You should watch for Stanford alone just to see how they do. But Stanford is over there doing really well.
They are ranked very high. I believe 10th. They're good.
Is Arizona and Arizona State, are they both in the ACC?
Arizona and Arizona State, they're in the Big 12. With Utah.
With Utah. Okay, thank you. Okay, Friday at 8:30, we have a try meet. Is that what you call it?
Yes, Metroplex Challenge.
Metroplex Challenge, session 1.
Is it going to be at the Metro, like the elite Metroplex place, or is it just the name of the challenge?
It's at the Metroplex place.
In
It's usually a
Fort Worth,
quad meet.
Texas. Okay. That's going to include Cal, Texas Women's, and Utah State. So Texas Women's, I'm assuming, is not a Division I school?
No.
Okay. Then at 8:30 on Friday, we have Auburn at Florida.
And Cal should clear them all easily. They better.
They better.
They will want to.
Iowa State at Arizona.
And Florida better beat Arbor as like Florida, y'all yelling me girls. Like y'all better beat Arbor.
Don't embarrass Michaela again.
Because we're going to have.
You're at home. Well, they're at home. They're gonna get a fucking 198.
Iowa State at Arizona. That's Ashley Miles' team, right?
I think so.
Correct.
Utah at Arizona State. That should be decent. Arizona State has looked good, right? Or is it Arizona the one that looks good?
I think Arizona.
Oh, okay. They're gonna be at Iowa State. San Jose State at Boise State. West Virginia at BYU. And then
Now,
we have
the
the
meat.
Super Bowl. Meet and
The Super Bowl of gymnastics. The Super Bowl of the NCAA. Oklahoma at LSU.
Oklahoma might get upset. They just might.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Do you think? But don't you think that like KJ is literally like threatening their lives? Like this is going to the nationals or regionals.
I think KJ is expecting an upset
Oh,
based on LSU at home.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma may not pull up their best.
They may
lineup.
not, which is going to be strategic.
and
In my opinion.
what if they win with their B team? What then?
Then
Nisha, yeah, hold on, Nisha. What dance is?
Do
Come
we
on,
care
Nisha.
about? Do we care about things like I care about this? I'm interested, but maybe you're not. Like, who do you think is going to be the all-around champion?
Eddie Bryan.
Will that be her first meet as doing the all-around or no?
I think she did it all around last week.
Was that a yes or no, Urza? Agree or disagree?
That was a no, but then I remembered she did both, so yes.
Okay, moving on. We have Maryland at Washington.
That would be a good because those are two good mid teams. So if you can stand all of your Chinko fulls and go on and off double tuck, that would be a very good.
And Maryland is an amazing bars team. They give you full twisting double layer dismounts off of bars. So Maryland is going to clear Washington.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to sit up there and watch it, but I'm saying if you can take it, that would be a good thing to watch.
Oh, Haley is not doing bars yet, so she did not do all around.
Nisha,
She hasn't done the bar routine this season.
I
Nisha
think it's
thinks-
a shoulder injury with her.
Nisha thinks Jordan Bowers is going to win the all-around.
Yeah, I agree.
Jordan Bowers, Audrey Davis, Aaliyah Finnegan. Who else?
Addison Fader does all around for Oklahoma.
Faith
As well.
Forrest.
I think they're
Yeah, Faith, Lily Petter. Oklahoma has 5 all rounders who consistently competes in the all around.
I have not seen Maryland, but I don't know anyone on their team, but I know Washington. So I'm surprised to hear you say Maryland is the better team.
Maryland gives you amazing bar routines and amazing dismounts. They give you full twisting and double layouts for days off bars. And Washington has been not good this season, in my opinion.
Okay. Moving on, we have Penn State at UCLA.
Oh my God, we have so many meets Friday night. Oh God. Gymnastics, y'all saying we love you. We're gonna give y'all meets for Valentine's Day. My God.
This one is this is the last meet of Friday, and I don't think anything. I think everything else will be done by that because Oklahoma starts at 9, and Maryland starts at 9:30, and this one starts at 11 p.m.
Oh no, UCLA. That is not the
At
move.
11 p.m.
That is not the move, UCLA. I'll be asleep.
It starts at 11
On a
Wow.
Friday.
But isn't that smart because there will be nothing else to decide between watching?
I'll be in my bed.
Normally it ends at about like 9:30. Normally it's the last meet, and it ends about 10:30, 11. So for it to be continuing, and them California people, what time would that be in California?
I mean, if this is
it will be 8 p.m.
Yeah, it'll be 8 in California.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense in why. Because it would be at 8 o'clock over there.
This is not to me, UCLA. Moving forward.
Do you hear that, UCLA and Janelle? This is your fan speaking. Pay attention.
But it's 8 o'clock over there, so it makes sense. It's early for them.
And it's late for us.
This is now, we're entering Saturday the 15th. We have Portland and Springfield at Rhode Island College. We have Penn at Southern Connecticut. We have UW Oshkosh at UW Whitewater. We have Kent State and Michigan at Rutgers. I guess that's in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Michigan should really clear them girls.
Michigan has been a little iffy this season.
But it's Kent State and
they're ranked high.
It would be a bit embarrassing if they don't win.
It would. Nah, Michigan State and Nebraska. No
That's
competition, but
it's still a good one to watch. Michigan State on the road.
Who's Nebraska's best gymnast?
Emma Spencer from Canada's World Medal Team in 2022.
That Nebraska a lot of the Canadian girls?
Yeah.
Okay, Cornell. That meet Michigan State is at 8 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh,
then we have. Sorry?
You said 8 p.m.? Okay.
No, because I'm so sorry. It's not that many meets on Saturday. Everybody is going Friday night.
Yeah.
And also, Michigan State at 8 p.m. is the last meet of the night on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're on Sunday, February 16th. We have Cornell, Ursinus, and UW La Crosse at George Washington.
Good luck to those people.
We have Brown, New Hampshire, and Towson at Yale.
Towson should win.
That's a very prestigious meet, but good luck to them people.
Very.
We have Brockport at Ithaca.
Ithaca competes a lot this week, but good luck to them people.
Did we already read them in a meet on this list?
They're competing right now.
Oh, okay. That's why I forgot. They were the first ones. Okay, now Sunday at 2 p.m. we have Minnesota at Ohio State.
This is going to be a good meet. A good meet.
Is there a clear front runner?
Ohio State.
I would say Minnesota.
Well, Minnesota is ranked higher, but Ohio State is better, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
But we'll see.
It's pretty even, though. It's not like it's basically Missouri, Kentucky in the Big 10 plus.
Yes, very close. And both of these are in the Big 12. I mean, Big 10, so it's going to be very close. So this is an important meet for the Big 10.
Okay, we have Western Michigan at Bowling Green.
Good luck to them people.
Then on Sunday at 3 p.m., we have the HBCU
Isla Classic.
The Isla Classic. And
Yes.
that's a tri-meet with Fisk,
All
Greenville,
three HBCU teams.
at Wilberforce.
Good luck.
I haven't heard of Greenville before, so I'll keep an eye out for them. Okay, then the last meet on nope, I lied. There's more. Okay, on Sunday at 3 p.m., there's Illinois at Iowa.
That should be a good meet. They're two close ranking teams. It's just, again, a lot of your Chenko for toe on to double tuck.
So Iowa is competing on Friday and Sunday.
Good luck to them.
And Illinois is competing on Friday. Wait, Iowa? No. Illinois at Iowa. What the fuck? Illinois and Iowa are competing against each other twice on Friday and Sunday?
Interesting.
Get some damn Big 10 plus rankings, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they've had a bye week.
They're literally they're at the first quad meet we talked about, and then they're also doing a dual meet on Sunday. Okay, on Sunday at 4 p.m., there's a quad meet. Ball State, Oregon State, Jade Carey's team, and Texas Women's, which is
also, like
Texas Women's is also on Friday, I think. So they're competing twice, and that is taking place at Denver.
Come on, Denver. Come on, Denver. Do something.
Then we have Westchester at William and Mary. We have Sacramento State at UC Davis.
Cute.
We have Bridgeport and Southern Connecticut at LIU. That will be LIU's second meet of the weekend. That's on Monday, sorry. So the last one is 5 p.m. on Sunday, Sacramento State at UC Davis. This is the only meet on Monday, Bridgeport and Southern Connecticut at LIU.
Okay.
Should I close the window?
You can close the window, but most of the big meets are Friday. So if you miss Friday, you miss your favorite team.
Yeah. I wonder why that is that they have them all on Friday, because people watch television on Friday?
It's Valentine's Day. They try to make meets happen on holidays, regardless if they're real holidays or not.
But don't people have plans on Valentine's Day to like not be in front of their television or whatever?
Remember, they think gymnastics is for kids, so they think kids are going to have all the free time in the world to watch gymnastics while their parents go off and do stuff.
Okay. That's some mental gymnastics.
Speaking of mental gymnastics, I have something that we could talk about as about everything in NCAA. Give me 1 second.
One of my favorite things about gymnastics is eponymous skills. I love innovation. I've always loved to know who was the first to do this, who was the first to do that, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the Phelps vault in particular, it has a very distinct and interesting history. Many skills in the code have been there decades before they were ever competed. In the 1985 Code of Points, a double Arabian off beam is already in the Code of Points, even though it would not be competed until 2003 when Carly Patterson got it named for her. That is not true of the Phelps vault. It was not in the 1993 Code of Points, meaning it was a truly brand new element. Shannon Miller submitted this new vault at the 1994 Individual World in Brisbane, Australia in April of 1994, and it was described as a Sukahara entry, which means a half turn onto the horse and then a half twist off into a forward salto stretch. There was a similar vault in the Code of Points, which was a Sukahara with a half twist that had a 9-7 start value. But the vault that Shannon introduced is much more difficult and was awarded a 10-0 start value. I think it should be named for Miller, but it's irrelevant now because that vault is long extinct. It's all.
That was Wally, the GC, the Soviet gymnastics connoisseur. Everyone go check out their Instagram and YouTube and Patreon for more content.
The details
Great.
matter.
I agree.
So, what do y'all think about that little piece of gymnastics history that even I did not know? Hey, Shayna.
Hi, Shayna. I feel like I missed the important piece of information where Wally talked about which competition Shannon competed the Phelps. Why should it be named for her? Was it a domestic meet or a big meet?
It was at the.
It was 93 Worlds, but she fell on it.
Oh, okay.
But then I'm so sorry, not 93 Worlds, 94 Worlds, but fell on it.
The individual worlds.
But yeah.
Oh, right.
But then she successfully competed it again at the Goodwill Games and landed it. But you could not get skills named after you at Goodwill Games. And then we know the drama that happened at 92 Teen Worlds, which was she pulled out after compulsory, but she never had a chance to compete that vault. But guess who did? Marilee Tracy and JC Phelps did. And Wally is saying that even though the vault was named after JC didn't do the correct vault. What you're doing was the second vault that was already in the Code of Point that was working 9-7, which was a Sukahara back layout with a half twist. What Shannon and them were doing was a Sukahara Arabian layout front, which in my book is two completely different vaults. Nowadays they will call it the same thing, but
it's like a Corkina vault versus a Podkopaeva vault, right?
Correct.
See,
but
the reason why I missed that crucial piece of information was my brain got so sidetracked when they mentioned the double Arabian being named as an example. I thought of not only Courtney Coupettes, but I also thought of Corey Fitzinger. Fitzinger.
Yeah.
She did it at the Parquet Invitational in 1998. Totally missed the point, but that's why I missed that piece of information. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And what I'm going to start doing is just start downloading videos and just have them set up, because that seems to work better for me and my internet than doing the share screen thing. So
the quality was great. I just wish we could have seen Wally's eyes while they were talking. We were just looking at their mouth.
Oh, that was my fault. Well, maybe that wasn't my fault. I don't know.
But the quality was immaculate.
But y'all heard the information. That's all that matters. Y'all heard the information.
And we saw.
If you want the full video, it's on his Instagram. It's Oscar. Can you say the channel name again for me?
Yeah, it's the THESOVGC, the Soviet Gymnastics Connoisseur.
And there is an open invitation, Wally, to come on the show whenever. We can talk about whatever. You know, we use your content a lot over here because we love you so very much. So much old school gymnastics that I could talk to you about, Fred, like for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, that is a fabulous content creator. I would recommend to everyone.
He is a fabulous one. Now, the issue is, though, he kept getting copyright strikes like me and YouTube, so he kind of like exclusively post his content to Patreon now, which sucks. But you know, the girls got to do what the girls got to do. Like shit.
Oh, speaking of the girls got to do what they got to do, how do you feel about Gymcastic putting some of their content behind a paywall? Because I think it's totally their prerogative, and
Shayna,
there's nothing wrong with it.
Shayna.
It's me. I win. You lose.
Hey, Shayna.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm doing. I had just got settled in at home and ate me some dinner, and I was like, I'm gonna hop on since I've been busy all day.
Cool.
Glad you could make.
What was it, Oscar, my baby?
I said glad you could make it.
I'm glad I could. Thank you. So those are two different vaults, right? The Miller and the Phelps.
They should be, yeah.
So, and I guess I agree with him. I guess it should be named after Shannon Miller, but she never landed. Well, she wasn't the first person to do it.
But what about 94? I think the individual worlds were in Brisbane, Australia. I thought she did it there successfully.
No, that's when she first submitted it, but she fell on it.
Oh, I thought you were saying
she landed it
at 93
She
World.
landed it at the Goodwill Games, but the Goodwill Games is not an accredited competition.
So she never did it at 93 Worlds.
Correct. No.
Okay.
I didn't like the original Shannon Miller way. I much prefer JC Phelps' version. Shannon Miller's version was like how those Romanians did it. Simona Amanar, terrible. Gina Goljan, terrible.
You know what? And you're saying that, Shanna, that just because JC was the only person, the first person I ever saw actually keep the vault laid out the whole way. So that's why I thought they gave it to JC over the other girls, because she's the only one who actually kept the vault laid out.
Wait, Shayna just confused me though. You're saying that you didn't like Shannon because she piked it, or because she also did a backwards layout with a half twist instead of a
it never was. It was never. I didn't like it because it never was laid out.
laid out. Okay.
And they
I just wanted
always
to
used to
clarify.
say it, you know, the Phelps vault is a laid out vault, but not everybody is laying it out, you know.
Was the piked
The best.
Arabian, was that named after anyone?
No, I don't think nobody
so. I don't
ever.
think that is in the code of points.
I know the tuck version is, but I don't think the height version is.
You know, it's like don't call it a layout if it's not a layout.
As Catalina Ponor infamously said, is it supposed to be laid out? Then lay it out.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that tip piece because I'm lazy of me, but I never went back and like went to watch the 1988 between the 1988 to 1996 like gymnastics time because I was a little bit.
You're missing out. Those are some of the best years.
But I have went back and watched those 88 Olympics. I did go back and watch the 92 Olympics. And I did go back and watch Mary Lou Shorten 84 Olympics. I've watched those competitions, but this info with, you know, Shannon Miller and this vault and, you know.
Those are good places to start, but I want you're going to need to fill in those gaps. Those are big gaps.
That was a long time ago. A long time ago. But that's our history. And, you know, even the NCAA stuff, I did not go back and watch. So I don't know what happened other than, you know, watching a couple of the Utah winning the NCAAs back in the day. So the history part of the gymnastics, I need to go pre when I started. Because like you said, it is a lot of gymnastics. I still feel like Silly Boss is still one of my favorites out of everybody. That's why I posted it in y'all's in the group chat. I didn't know her daughter went to Towson.
Oh, I didn't see you post that. I gotta look for it. Here's a gymnastics NCAA trivia question for my three NCAA stands.
Mm-hmm.
Which event did Kelly Garrison score the first perfect score on?
Yeah.
Was it Beam?
I'm supposed to know the answer, right?
Oh God.
You asked the question, yes.
The first perfect 10 where? In what conference? In the elite system or when she went to Oklahoma?
It was the first perfect 10 in NCAA I read. I don't know which event.
I think it's Beam, right?
Oh my God, it's been forever since John has been here.
John Perry! Oh my gosh! How you doing, friend? I miss you so much. We are almost at elite season. You better get back on the show more often now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, John Perry! Yay.
They miss you, John.
We miss you dearly.
Okay, so this is something else. While Oscar was looking up that, something else that I wanted to talk about was, and while we have Shannon Edwards on, I want to talk about the difference between elite gymnastics and NCAA gymnastics, because I feel like a lot of people still have the two confused. People still, when they watch an NCAA competition, they expect to see double doubles and full twist and double layouts, and when they don't see that, they see the two tumbling passes, they get completely turned off. So I just want everybody to think of some skills that common skills, not like unique skills, not like Simone Biles or Chinko double pipes, but just common skills that you will see in elite gymnastics versus common skills you would see in NCAA gymnastics. Like, for example, for me, a common vault you can expect to see in elite gymnastics is your Chinko double twist. That's the common vault that most elite girls at the top levels can get around.
I thought you were going to say your Chenko full.
I thought she was going to say the 1.5. Look at that. 3 different thoughts.
See,
I'm talking about for the top girls.
The top
So the
girls
top
do the
girls you can
double.
expect.
The girls who want to be at the top but can't be do the 1.5, and everyone else does the full.
The Chinese and above.
Basically. But in elite, I mean in NCAA, the top vaults that you can expect is a Yurchenko 1.5, or maybe a Pike half, or
A Pike's
you might see a
Lopez.
super full. That's Leanne does that, but that's even kind of hard. You might see a Tuck Lopez more, or yeah, a lot of girls do the Tuck Lopez actually. And million chats are very popular in NCAA. Like that's the level of vaulting that you can expect. Like don't expect if you see a Yurchenko double, you look at that girl and be like, "Why are you doing such a hard vault? Like calm that shit down."
Right.
MJ Frazier, calm
And
that
that,
down.
and that kind of, you know,
Sorry.
that's what kind of pisses me off a little bit with the NCAA season, because it's like you're doing this cookie cutter, your Tinko full. Granted, it might be nice, but it has no lift off the table. You stick it and you get a 995, and then you get a double full who, yeah, might have a couple flex feet or a leg separation with a very minuscule hop, getting a 9.9. So when are we going to reward the
So
difficulty?
do you think? Okay, so we're not going to change topics. This is still on topic though. We're going to stay on topic. I think in the NCAA, right? There should be more of a push towards bigger difficulty at this point in time. Because even in the last 10 years, if you go back to gymnastics, NCAA gymnastics 10 years ago, which was 2015, they were starting routines with double layouts during the third tunnel passes, ending with double tucks and double pikes. And that was standard across the board. Like some E-pass, if it wasn't a double layout, it was a full in or an Arabian double or a handspring double twist in front. Now, is they're doing two passes, and it's not even that they're doing two passes. None of the passes even are E's. And it's like, oh, well.
I see a lot of people are doing those front handspring Rudies to back layout step outs.
That would be a middle pass.
Right. Now it's some people opening pass. So, you know.
I see a lot of just Rudies, period.
I
like a layout step out. I've seen a lot of just naked bare Rudies.
Doesn't
Rudy's at least a Rudy used to be connected to like a jump or something, but now that you're right, Oscar, I do see a lot of just handspring Rudy dismount.
That's your fave does one of those variations, Oscar. Delaney Rodriguez.
So does Brooklyn Moores. I like her too.
But okay, Brooklyn is my example of. Okay, this is my example. Brooklyn is a perfect example. I'm glad you used it. Brooklyn was an elite level gymnast, right? Was doing crazy tumbling passes on floor. Now, do I expect her to? But when she first was a not singer. What is it? A freshman. She was doing handspring double front as a mount, some kind of Rudy back handspring layout step out as a middle tumbling pass, handspring double twist in front, punch front as her dismount. I get it. She's been hurt. That may have been a little bit too much difficulty for college, but if you can do a handspring double twist in front, punch front, can I at least get a damn 1.5 front layout before the damn Rudy? Like, I don't know.
And look at where it's taken her. She's leading the nation on floor, I think.
We're doing less different, and I don't think that's right at all. I mean,
but she's not the
one
status quo, because her artistry and her performance quality is far and beyond better than 90% of the college girls. So she's a unique person when it comes to the cookie cutter two pass routine.
I don't.
You know, wasn't she
Helen
doing a front
who?
handspring double
Helen who?
full to a punch front?
I mean, that's a hard
Hmm.
pass. I'm not saying that's not a hard pass. That is a hard pass.
Because
But
if you look at it back in the
what else does
day,
she do?
if they would, her third pass just more than likely would be a front layout, front pull, pike front or something.
Is
You
the
know, do
is
we
the
really need to see that in the routine?
is the forward double twist a E or a D skill?
It's an E.
It's
And
an
I don't know
E.
when those
And
became so popular. That's some interesting information. I want to find out
that's the
when
easiest
that became
because it's the easiest E pass you can
but a lot
do.
of people can't do that
It
though.
shouldn't
A
be an
lot of
E.
people can't tumble forward.
A lot of people, and see, that's the hard part of that pass. It is a hard
Hmm.
pass. It's just if compared to a double layout or a full in or a triple twist, you can't have a handspring double twist in front the same as a triple twist. Like,
There's an E cap on skills in the NCAA, right? Okay.
absolutely.
I need to find out when
The double double, the syllabus is an E.
she needs to be a triple F
Mm-hmm.
in college, if you ask me. I'm sorry.
Like Jade Carey doing her double as her mount and a punch front through to a double tuck. I can understand why she's doing two tumbling passes. That's a two tumbling pass worthy.
She does a front layout split jump.
See, them girls have no excuse. They have
I'm
no
kind of
excuse.
with you, Michaela. You know, when we talked about this subject about the difficulty, and there was a lot of good points about, you know, the longevity of the sport, and gymnasts are older now, and with the COVID year and protecting their bodies. But I'm like you. I need to see Miss Double layout at the beginning. I don't care front layout, front full, or front layout Rudy, and then at the end I need to see a double pike or a triple full or something. You know, for the third pass to get me like excited. I don't know where, and I'm gonna look this up about when front double full became
And
10-0
then
start values, and now everybody in the country is doing them.
and then and then when did they take out the requirements on floor? Because like floor has no requirements now. They don't have to do turns on floor anymore. All it is two tumbling passes and elite pass, and it seems like you start from a 10. Like, what happened to your Jim Acro series? What happened to your three jumps in a row? What happened to all of that shit that used to be requirements? Like,
So that's why I'm all for an adjustment or a change in the code.
and I'm not saying they have to do the most difficult leaps or the most difficult turns or the most difficult tumbling passes. It's just something. Like, I'm sick of these. Like, I'm so sorry. I can't stand Brooklyn Moore's floor routine. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sound like the hater again. At least she's not doing a sad dying clown this year, which I appreciate. But y'all say Jordan Child's routine is too much dancing. Y'all say Kirsten Johnson routine is too much dancing. For me, Brooklyn Moore's routine is too much posing in one place. I can't stand it. I can't stand it at all.
Hater.
If I was a judge,
I mean,
if I was a judge, it would always be 9.6.
that's your opinion. I'm glad she's changed something for her final year because I was over the same shit every year. But I like it. I like her. Actually like Jordan's routine now that it has grown on me.
Why are the girls not doing triple turns, memo turns, double L turns, double wolf turns?
Will they get
Not
rewarded
worth it.
for
There's no turn requirement.
3 answers at once. I didn't hear any of them.
it?
Not worth it.
Are they not rated
It's
E's or
not
E's?
worth it.
No, they are, but it's just
They are.
deductions, and it's not worth it when you could do a simple full turn.
Just
But
get
to,
the girls are not getting
You don't have to do a
deducted.
turn at
The
all.
girls are not getting deducted on their leaps the way they should. So there's a double standard.
They aren't. But that's why most girls choose to do leaps instead of turns.
But I'm saying these leaps are not flawless. So why are we
Aaliyah's
acting like
floor routine is dry. I'm sorry.
I agree, Urza. They love it, Michaela and
Thank you.
Shayna.
Aaliyah
Who?
Finnegan's that floor routine is basic as everything.
And it doesn't compare to her freshman floor or even her sophomore year floor.
I tell you who has the worst floor routine in the country to me is that damn Lee.
Oh God.
I cannot. I can't.
It's Florida floor routine.
I can't stand all of Florida.
I don't care. I don't
I
care
think
for any of
Jeremy
the
on
Utah
Chicago-
floor routines either.
Utah floor routines are always bad.
It's a bad year for floor, including LSU. I'm not gonna lie. Thank God
Which,
we have a Khalil.
which school does Lori Bruback go to? That's the worst floor.
Florida. Oh my God. I hate her. I hate that floor routine. I hate it. I hate it.
At least that white girl isn't trying to vogue in her floor routine anymore because that Arkansas was about to be a fool.
And then I went back Amari Celestine's floor. I like it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like schools like Missouri, MSU, and UCLA, I'm going to give UCLA credit. At least if they're going to do dance routines, at least the girls can dance. And that's the other part with these 2-pass floor routines. Now, okay, yeah, they're not doing jumps, they're not doing leaps, they're not doing turns. They're doing the most basic tumbling passes. So now they have to dance. And half these
Hell
girls
no,
cannot
John,
dance.
I will not
These
have
damn-
it. I will not have it. I'm sorry. College goes to the open score format. Hell no.
I'm not Shayna. I'm not sure. I'm really have two thoughts on this because how else do we make it fair? Like that's the only way to encourage difficulty at this point is to make it open code because especially in college, they're going to do the least amount of work possible. And I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying it's very unentertaining as the fans. I could do vault. I could do these damn pack baloney bar routines. I can't even beam. I can do. It's floor. I can't do floor.
Who has the most difficult floor routine in the NCAA besides Jade Carey?
Jordan Childs.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And try again.
A Jordan Childs and a Leah Finnegan.
Yeah. Not really a good year for floor.
Who does 3 passes? That should be
Shay
the question.
Campbell.
Before we even do that. Who does,
Shay.
Yeah.
okay, what are
And
Shay?
to me, this is
in
her worst
A
floor
front
routine.
layout, front full double tuck, and she does her 3 leap series.
I think this is Shay's worst floor. I'm sorry. I don't care for Haley Bryan's floor.
It might be, but that's more difficulty than we got from Jordan. So okay, who else does 3 passes? Anybody in Florida?
I think KJ
No.
Johnson. I think KJ Johnson was one of the only few 3 persons.
Oh
She
yeah,
haven't
if
this year,
if KJ
but
comes back, then she will be up there.
I think she's 3 passes.
How many passes
Does Haley
does
Bryan
Maya
does
Luzon do? Not
She
Maya
does
Luzon.
2.
Maya Houghton.
She does 3. Full in front. Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah.
I think she
I
does
don't know.
2
I
now.
haven't. I'm so sad. I'm sorry because I love her, but I haven't watched her floor this year. So,
Neither have I. So it probably isn't good.
In the
I'll pay
past,
attention
she's
to it.
done 3. She's done the front layout, front full, front tuck, and then it's done with the
Hell,
double tuck.
and this is the gap with these 2 tunnel passes. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for to take it one step further with these 2 tunnel passes. Girls, when y'all take out y'all double layouts and then y'all open the tunnel passes that front layout, front full, and you end it with a double tuck, and the routine's still worth a 10, I just don't believe it. Like, I just don't. I'm just looking like judges when you finna give her that 9-6, girl. Where that 9-6 at? Like 9925. Oh my god.
Does Nikki Smith
I
free
blame
passes?
this.
Who?
I know Nikki.
Oh, yes, she does.
Full in.
What are her passes, Urza?
Full in front, 1.5 twist front layout, double tuck, and she does a 2-leap series.
Wait, it was a front tuck or a 1.5 twist?
1.5 twist front layout.
And then a double tuck.
Yes.
That sounds harder than what Shay's doing.
No, Shay has
Basically the same thing.
A back
Yeah, basically the
1.5
same
or a
thing.
front forward.
I'm so glad y'all came and got on the because I've been so busy with work, but I have to go back and watch this Auburn and Georgia meet. And how the hell did Sophia Groff anchor that Auburn floor rotation with a 995 when I have never known her to do but a front double full and a goddamn Rudy?
That's probably what she did. Like, okay, like one of the things that pissing me off about this, I was promised, and I got it for 2 weeks, lower scores, because you know how I feel. I feel like a great score in NCAA should start at a 9.7. For a good routine should start at a 9.7. A great routine should be around a 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
A damn near perfect routine should be around a 9.9. 10 should be stupid rare in the NCAA at this point.
Man, that'll never happen though. You got to think about it.
But at the first,
you do that
at the beginning of this season, that's when it started. But then after that damn Florida meet, that's when they got loose again with these scores. Now everybody is pushing 9.8, 9.9. I'm sorry, 198 again, and it's like. No, like y'all was absolutely correct at the beginning of this season.
But with the exception of a couple of those meets, though, if you look at the rankings, they really are a lot lower than last season. Only 2 teams. We're going into week 7, and only 2 teams have scored a 198. Yeah, UCLA and Utah
it barely should be
close.
one.
But as a whole, judging is still bad. It's too high, but in relative to what
I think
we have passed, it really isn't.
I think the judging is decent this season compared to last 2 seasons.
But decent, the bar is on the floor. We should have higher standards.
We should, but they're never going to do that. Then you never going to.
Wait. Okay. Hold on, everybody, because we so went off topic. So I want to bring us back on track. Skills that we see in elite versus skills that we see in NCAA. Because now we went on to some other shit.
I wanted to
like what other skills?
When they changed the beam competition for the dismount, y'all remember when everybody was doing the what was it, Michaela?
Walk over back.
What was it?
The free cartwheel back.
Yes. Now everybody's trying to do gainers, and my thing. College gymnastic gainers are horrible. The form is terrible, and we're seeing a lot more of them now.
Read.
Huh?
I agree. I think sometimes they try to fix issues that aren't okay. Yeah, we see everybody doing certain things, but everybody doesn't do them great. Like everybody never used to do that dismount great, so you used to get deducted. I think it should be. Yeah, that's a perfectly reasonable dismount for NCAA. A free cartwheel to a bad tub.
It's not like I don't.
I like the
elevation of it. It's supposed to you gainer your foot. It's supposed to swing up, and you look at like Sophia Gross, Kara Aker, like they look terrible. You don't even see that skill in elite.
I much prefer to round off double fours.
Michaela, what made you think about this topic?
Because like people like John Perry, who keeps screaming about the open cold. A lot of people, like I started off, they'll watch an NCAA meet, they hear gymnastics, right? They don't understand that college gymnastics is a different level. So they see Leanne Wan and Jordan Childs and Kayla DeCello and all the elite girls that they're used to seeing, double doubles and your Chinko double twist and 3 release moves on the even bars with 3 transitions and a full turn and a dismount. You ain't getting all of that in the NCAA, baby. You ain't getting all of that in the NCAA. What you're supposed to get, though, what you're supposed to have an appreciation for, and I realize a lot of the older friends of mine who like the NCAA because they saw the perfect 10 system, and this is our way to still have that. And in the perfect 10 system, it wasn't all about difficulty. And that's kind of what we liked about the NCAA, but we kind of feel like the NCAA has went too far to the left. Too far to the left. And the NCAA is like, fuck difficulty. It's a dance party. And we don't want to see that shit either, girl.
It's like not even level 10. I feel like it's level 9.
Oh?
It does feel like it dropped after. It used to be NCAA used to be a notch above a level 10. Now it's a notch below.
Earlier when I mentioned the Pikes Lopez vaults, I thought we were still talking about elite because I feel like that's a vault with seeing elite when you look outside their standard Yurchenko backwards entry.
Mm-hmm.
Turns in general, you don't see turns in college.
The only event that has a turn requirement is on beam. There used to be a turn requirement on floor. I think they took that away in a recent couple of quads, but under the 10.0 system, there definitely should be a turn requirement on floor. Even if they're just doing a full turn, it should be a turn requirement. It should be elite requirement. You should have a gym acro series requirement for floor. Like, I don't understand what do Shane or Ezra, do either one of y'all know the requirements for floor for
I don't know
NCAA?
offhand, but I know you have to have the double salto. You have to have a front element and back element. They used to give bonus for like a combination or e-pass in the routine. I don't know if they still doing it. I'm gonna look it up.
I want there to be like either a B or C minimum for a for a turning skill on floor. And to answer John's question, it's because to my understanding, the men use the open scoring in college as well.
And we see where
Yeah,
where the men's gymnastics program is too is non-existent. So that was not the way, you know.
okay, but can we talk about that for a second? Because that's a great topic. Because
But to go back to your topic about skills, we still see a lot of full
go ahead.
twisting double backs and double layouts in elite and college. So the dismounting off bars is predominantly really the same.
What happened to a nice full twisting double pike in college?
On floor?
Yeah.
Because you're going to get deducted for it for form and low chest position. Because that's what's going to happen. It's harder to get that skill around.
The last person I saw do a full twisting double pike in college, Nina Dennis.
Nia Dennis, Makari Doggett were the latest.
And
see, do y'all think do y'all think in college they should at least bring it up to F skills?
Why not?
Yes, they should.
What would be an F skill on floor? Would a double layout get moved up to an F? or should it stay?
I think a full twisting double layout. No.
I don't think a
Yeah.
double layout should be an F. Well, it should definitely be
I think
harder than a full in.
Well, what would be a double pike? A double pike is a what? A D?
Yeah.
a D.
Okay.
A
A
D.
C.
They need to go up
D.
on it. That's if we're looking at the college ranks,
No, I would say keep a double pike at a D and make the double tuck a C.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
Why not keep the double tuck and the double pike a D and just raise the other skills?
because then you have the issue with the double layout. Like, should the double layout be worth? Because girls are doing full twist and double layouts in college, so I can't see putting double layout as an F when I want to put the full twist and double layout
You're
as
talking
an F.
about bars now? Because who does a trousseau on floor?
Jordan Childs will throw one every blue moon.
He's like the only one.
She stopped when she should have won a national title on the floor in 2022, but then she realized she wasn't going to get scored high for it. So
Like, just like Jade Carey is the only one doing a double-double on floor.
We've seen more of those than we've seen full twist and double. Well, no, Kristen Maloney used to do a full twist and double layout way back in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
I mean,
So
special Michaela Skinner, she did the double double. We've seen.
Charlotte Olsen used to do a double double.
But that it's less than 5, it's rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
But
rare.
college, always,
But I'm just
you
saying.
know, I don't know what they can do to change it up, but college has always been based off of how well you do it, not how hard it is. And people have just been so outrageous about scoring when I think it's a judging issue more than a talent issue.
I don't think it's a judge's issue because the judges can only do what the rules have.
Yeah, but it's like no way
I think it's
a Leanne Wong should be getting a 9925 with almost out of bounds, leg all the way up type situation. That's a judging issue. Then you score this routine a 9925. Like, what were you watching?
But what is the deduction they should have taken? Isn't it just a
She
tenth of a
scored a
point?
9925. What you call that? These what they've been saying lately? These impossible scores. Leah Finnegan, Florida versus LSU. She's short on a front, a double full. I mean, a 2.5 punch front and step back. That's an automatic 1/10 deduction. She scores a 995. Like impossible. So that's when I say the scoring is not an ability of these gymnasts, it's the scoring and how these people are not taking adequate deductions for obvious mistakes. It's a difference if somebody's toes aren't pointed or their foot flexed.
Can I give a little bit of pushback? And please, people keep reading. Keep reading the comments. Oscar, you're doing a very good job of reading the comments. Y'all know me. I ignore them shits all the time, so I'm so sorry. My only pushback to that statement is, and it's not even pushback to you. It's just what I keep hearing from the people who actually are judges. Is like when we do judge the routines, right? The schools get onto us for not giving their gymnasts the correct score, so then they bully us to start giving higher scores out to people. How do we fix that?
Well, isn't that why they trying to switch to this the new judging whatever criteria they had? Because before the coaches dictated who got assignments for championship meets, right? So say like a Jenny Rowland, Florida. Everyone saying Florida is so overscored. Well, she's an actual judge herself, and if the NCAA coaches are in direct power of getting good assignments or getting postseason assignments, yeah, I'm gonna give Florida I might overlook some shit, because I want to be able to judge at nationals this year and make a little coin. So that's how it's been. So now people are in an uproar because they're trying to have, the new system going on. So
Michaela, John says it sounds like it doesn't matter what the individual D value of each skill is if you can still start out of a 10 with 2 C passes.
It's very, oh gosh, that's a good point. Like it fucking don't. Like, wow. Wow, I just been that bam, mind blown. Like
yeah,
boom, mind blown, bitch. Because it's the truth. It don't matter. Why does it matter that skills are worth E's and D's when all I have to do is a Rudy and a round off 1.5 twist front layout, switch lead, wolf full, straddle full, and bitch, I have a 10.0 start value, and they're gonna give me a 9.95, and the bitch over there stupid enough doing double layout, punch front through to a double tuck, ending with a double pike. They giving her 9.875, so I'm gonna keep doing my 2 easy tumbling passes and getting the better
What's the
score.
difference between that and the conversation 20 years ago with Gina Gojian and the Beam title in 97 at Worlds? Is there one? Or is this a really old conversation?
It's an old conversation which leads us into the open code of points, which is that's how they fix this issue is the open code of points, because fuck the subjectivity of the sport. It's about who does the hardest things. And I don't want NCAA to get there, but I don't know what other solution to do.
Maybe John knows what to do since he's an outside perspective.
yeah. Because people were so like in an uproar that Gina won when she beat Kui. She had the most difficulty, the most.
Even Horkina's routine
Yeah,
should have.
Corkina even had a better.
If they were going to give it to somebody, why not give it to Horkina? Why make Horkina and Gina Gorsian
And then she
tie,
lose.
and then Gina Gorsian win on the tie break, and then which leads Kui to being the bronze medalist? Like that was like the best beam routine of Horkina's career. Like
Especially for Beam, because Horkina started to dwindle down Beam. Like it started getting worse over the years. So
Each and every year.
and I always just think about it like who the people that are in place to make the scoring, over the judging of the NCAA, over the code of points. Who are they looking at? Who is the audience? Who does it affect? Is it affecting the gymnasts, or is it affecting the sport as a whole? I'm thinking from y'all that are elite experts, y'all prefer the open code.
it's such
I
a.
don't
I see
like
the
it.
benefit of both.
I just don't.
I see the benefits of both systems, sisters, and let me defend both. Let me defend both, and then we could come to some kind of like as a podcast. Let's see. I'm gonna play
But
lawyer
also,
to both, right?
I think you
I'm
would
gonna
agree neither is perfect.
Neither is perfect. There are flaws in both, but I see the benefits to both, right? And especially when you want to say NCAA gymnastics, right? Because I think we all can agree for NCAA, because it's an older group of gymnasts, we don't want them to throw so much difficulty that we're seeing horrible injuries every weekend, right? That's what we don't want to see, right? So one of the great things about the 10.0 system is there is a cap on difficulty. Whenever you get to your 10.0, that's all the difficulty that you need. That is one of the benefits of the 10.0 system. another one of the benefits of the 10.0 system is because there's a cap on difficulty, you get to invest in other things in gymnastics like beautiful dance elements, beautiful leaps, beautiful turns. The gymnasts have energy to express even the hardest level of the 10.0 system. The girls were doing 3 tumbling passes or 4 tumbling passes, turns, and a leap series or whatever, right? And then before it was a leap gym acro series, which was like a cartwheel to a leap or something like that. And all of that was very beautiful. That was the most beautiful era of gymnastics to me, the 10.0 system, right? Because it wasn't all about difficulty. And that's one of the benefits to NCAA gymnastics, where there's a balance of difficulty and also beautiful gymnastics. And that's one of the benefits of the 10.0 system. And you're not going to have that under the open code. Under the open code, it's going to be whoever can do the hardest. It's whoever can recruit all of the elites, who can do all of the big tricks. And then I don't know if it might grow more viewerships from the outside, but for us as the gymnastics community, it's going to be the death of pure gymnastics, because that's the last era of the 10.0 system is NCAA. But I can also see why the NCAA would want to bring in the open code, because how else do you make it fair? How else do you take away the influence of the coaches and the schools on the judges to keep ruining? Because every year we as the fans keep complaining about the scores being too low, but Jay Clark and them is keep telling us, nah, bitch, we want the 10s because the 10s bring the crowds out. And
that's the excitement behind it, you know. And
well,
it's also because it's still student athletes. And yeah, we have NIL, but before that, these people were not getting paid for their services to compete for these schools. Yeah, they were getting it started out because you're a student athlete first. You're not an athlete student. So your education and being on scholarship, that's what mattered. And you get to the point where, you know, I don't know, maybe just for me, y'all, it's just with the open code, it has gotten so boring to a point to where everything we talk, y'all know how it has been for Simone Biles. They sensationalize her of being the GOAT because she beats everybody to oblivion. Every competition she's in is no one close to her. So they don't even focus on like second place. They focus more on she quit not like the commentators, but just the gymnastics community and what people say on social media about her not, you know, really being with the twisties, and she let her country down and she did this, and then now she made this comeback and everybody was like, you know, she's the GOAT and she's all for mental health. And 20 years ago, people weren't talking about gymnasts' mental health. Gymnasts were getting abused and basically raped and fondled with. So, you know, it has changed like the spectrum of the media and what people say about gymnastics in general with the open code. Now with college, it's always just it's going to be popular because of what the schools do, but as a whole, like a body, it is going down in popularity, and I think it's because the judging has gotten so bad. When we don't look at the elite open code system as such a bad thing when it comes to judging, it's either you're going to get it or not. Simone can fall 3 times in a meet and still win, so that's the biggest difference. You
And you can and see that's the other thing though, Shayna. I don't think I know you're blaming the judging. I don't think it's the judging. I think for me, what it is with college gymnastics is the level of difficulty. I could get over the judging if the level of difficulty was at a point where it was entertaining. For me, especially in floor, uneven bars is pretty bad too, but with floor is the worst. it's not even fun
So
to
you can't
watch. It's not.
repetitive,
It's like
basically. It's too repetitive.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's part of it. It's-
repetitive.
It lacks originality. Everybody's doing the same thing on bars. Everybody's doing the same thing on beam.
Without without turns and leaps, it becomes cheerleading, and I don't want to see them
Yeah,
do
but you
cheerleading.
also got to think who is the audience for a college gymnastics meet? Not our grown and we're part of the community, but it's catered towards young children, young boys and
And
girls.
that's a mistake with them, and there's going to be the death of
And they're
gymnastics if they
not
don't change that
stand
because at the end,
a good score being if it's under 10.0, they're not going to be, they're so used to 10, 10, 10, and pom poms and, loudness and excitement over a 10. They're not going to understand, well, 9.7 is a good score. That's the new 10. And much worse is if you change it to they're getting an open ended 12s and 13s. Six,
the-
a
I feel like
6-year-old is not going to understand that.
you
A
can't
6-year-old
even like I feel like we're selling ourselves short in terms of limiting our imagination. Like just because we can't imagine what it would be like doesn't mean it wouldn't make more sense and couldn't be successful in its own right. Also, it's not like there isn't huge misconceptions now about the scoring, people thinking that not understanding the deductions that should be taken. I also want to say, just while I have the floor, like I don't think it's a coincidence that people like Jay Clark and Olivia Dunn at LSU are now like making so much noise and demanding tens and higher scores when they are finally the national champions, the best team in the country, and the highest paid like school in the country. Also, of course, they think it's working for them, and they want it to continue. Doesn't mean it's best for everyone.
Yeah, but I think Jay Clark always. Do you know who he was under? Suzanne Yockland complained about everything.
I
She
thought
complained about
he was
every.
under Suzanne and Didi, or he wasn't under Didi.
Yeah, he was under Didi when he came to LSU, but Suzanne was kind of like how he is. Suzanne was very, she was back when gymnastics didn't have weekly TV
right?
shows. She was the one did it. She had it with Georgia. She was very
Yeah,
opinionated. She had things to say. They fought.
she used to have a Gym Dogs
Mhm.
podcast where she would talk shit about the other teams like we're doing right now. I remember I used to listen to
Someone
So,
needs to make an archive of
before
so
those.
that doesn't shock me. But you
before our podcast was called. I think it was on the AM
see,
radio. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to
yeah.
look for that.
Please.
Welcome to the Welcome to
But
the
yeah,
Georgia Gym Dog Show, and then they used to have sponsored by, and they did those things back in 2005s and sixes and sevens. So especially when they went on that run, but they would. She was doing it before, that, and always was opinionated about things, about college athletics, about gymnastics, about administrators and athletic directors and fans. And Georgia was the rivalry with Georgia and Alabama. That was a real thing. And those people had something to come for. Those people, they used to have a home and an away meet every year. So Georgia and Alabama went
but
against each other
this.
home and away.
I would say this though, Shayna. I will say this. During those eras of NCAA gymnastics, the level of difficulty was a lot closer to elite gymnastics. Like, if you could expect to see what was the girls doing in elite gymnastics at that point in time, double layouts and full lens, you can expect to
Mm-hmm.
see double layouts and full lens in college. It's like
Mm-hmm.
now you don't have that same expectation. Like, if you're going to see, you can expect to see a little bit. Like right now, okay, I can expect if you're going to an elite meet, you expect at least with floor to see double doubles and full twist and double layouts. With college, you can't. It's not a You can't say I expect to see somebody start with a double A and end with a full in. No, you might see somebody start with a Rudy and end with the front, 1.5 front
So they need
layout, but it's
revamp
such
the
a
whole
drop.
code.
It's such a
So it's
drop off
yeah. They ordered
for
it down.
fans of elite gymnastics. Yeah, I can understand why they don't get into it. It's such a drop off. It's like college gymnastics still used to be more difficult than these World Cups that they used to play on TV. Like, you used to see bigger tricks than hell, maybe even at Pan American Games, it used to be harder. And it's just not, it's not like that anymore.
People used to dismount with 2.5 twists and double tucks a lot back in the day in college.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what Suzanne was doing and having an opinion. I think that's a good thing, but I don't think that means what Jay Clark is doing. I agree with. I thought of two really messy questions based off of what you just said, Michaela.
Sure.
Do you think it's now? I don't necessarily feel this way, but I'm gonna ask the questions anyway. Do you think that it's possible that the level of difficulty in NCAA gymnastics has declined due to the acceptance of elite gymnasts going to college gymnastics compared to in the past how it was looked down upon more, slash and or the inclusion of international gymnasts more than ever? The first part, the non-international part, is more important.
I think what happened is that damn COVID year. I think people start trying to save their bodies because they knew they were going to have 5, possibly try to push 6 years in the sport. So beforehand, it was 4 and done, right? I was going to have 4 years. So each year, I'm going to do everything I can for these last 4 years and give my body to gymnastics for these last 4 years to try to do what I can for these schools. Now, the girls are like, let's save our bodies and, 2 passes and we still get the same scores anyway, so why not? And it just is, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I hope I answered your question.
No, yeah, that's a totally fine answer. A little not very diplomatic. You didn't go messy at all. I wanted mess. Should we? That's enough NCAA, right?
I'm sure.
What else do you want to talk about with NCAA?
Yes. This is what I do want to talk about before we move on. So our good friend Frederick Richards. Let me try to share my screen because it's not a video, it's a photograph, so it should work. He is coming out with a male Leo line. Thing is,
Frederick.
He is trying looking leotards for the male gymnast, young boys. I meant Frederick Richards. I'm so sorry.
Frederick Richard.
Oh, Frederick.
No, there's no S in his last name. I'm just teasing Michaela.
Yeah.
I call him Frederick Richards all the time.
Have y'all been keeping up with men's college gymnastics? How's Stanford doing? How is Asher and Coy doing?
I wish it'd be nice to know.
I was gonna say it's like non-existent to me.
It would be real nice to know.
You know which program I do
I
keep
wish there was a way to watch it.
You know which program does a good job of posting on social media?
Mhm.
Michigan, the men's Michigan team, because I always see Charlie Larson's routine, even though I don't follow them.
That's why those men's gymnastics programs are getting cut. Nobody's going. They're not making any revenue. Nobody's going to them. They changed to the open code system, trying to mimic the elite, and then people were like, "Hell no, mm-mm. That doesn't work for college." Ugh.
I don't know.
Oh no, I can't. Sorry, hold on.
Is that true, Shayna? Like when did the men's college gymnastics switch to the open code?
I don't know. I can look it up though, but
I would be curious to know. Also, I looked it up, and Kelly Garrison's first perfect 10 in NCAA was on beam,
yeah, that was her best event.
and she swept nationals. No, she swept the Big Eight conference championships. What are you doing, Michaela? Stop scandalizing the children.
I'm looking for this thing with Frederick Richards. It's like I can't find it again. Oh no, I hate when I do this. And I don't remember who shared it. It probably was International Gym Magazine. Hold on. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. Oh, what's it
Okay,
down?
hello, y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you, sis.
Okay, the 2004 is when the FIG implemented the open code. For the men, it started in college in 2006. So almost next season will be 20 years.
Michaela,
Look at the open code.
Look at what I just sent you. Is that what you're looking for? Maybe you can't find it because you're looking for Frederick Richards, and his name is Richard.
I know, right? Hold on, let me see. No.
I'm sorry. I'm opening up.
Wait,
y'all.
I sent it to you directly. But I want to talk about that after.
Okay, I'm looking. Yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. Yay, Oscar saving me. You know, being aggravated. Yeah. Make it big, bitch. Make it show thread. So, this is an example of one of the new leotards that he is trying to come out with for men's gymnastics, right? So his thing is he is trying to make leotards more masculine looking for men and less leotard looking. And basically, if you see his shirt, it looks like a basketball jersey. It's a basketball jersey material instead of like the leotard material that they normally have. How do y'all feel about it?
Isn't there an actual name for what the men wear and it's not unitard? It's not singlet, but it's something else. But I'm missing the point. I think it looks like what they used to wear. I don't see the difference. I think it looks fine. It looks pretty boring to me. I'm happy that he's building his business, his brand. He looks good.
I don't like it.
I wish I could see the bag.
Doesn't it look like what they always wear? Like, it's literally so boring.
Like, what's so different or great about it?
The Leos that the men now wear are like crushed velvet, and they have some rhinestones on them, and this is just it's like when the figure skater Nathan Chan went on his whole trying to make figure skating more masculine. It's like, no, girl, it's never going to be masculine, no matter what y'all do, no matter how straight some of you male skaters may be. Figure skating is always going to be for the girls, and gymnastics is always going to be for the girls. And I'm so sorry to y'all heterosexual male gymnasts, but
Okay, I'm not understanding, because this photo, maybe there were other photos he posted, but I'm just gonna read a little bit of the caption in case it's too small for people to read who are watching. Fred posted that photo with the caption, "I'm making this change for my 10-year-old self who felt awkward in tights and embarrassed to tell people I'm pursuing a quote unquote girls sport." Not even gonna get into that right now. "And for every kid who still feels that way today, I've made it my goal to change this sport because no young boy should feel these insecurities in a sport as amazing as this one. The world and culture has changed. Now it's time for the sport and the uniform to change as well. Thank you, Turn Gymnastics, for helping me push gymnastics forward. The new era of men's gymnastics uniform is coming." What are you talking about? Talking about tights and all we see is your torso. What? Like, there must be some piece of information we're not getting, right? We're not seeing here.
no, that's literally what he means.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, aren't you gonna wear tights over your tank top? Under your tank top?
Maybe he's coming up with some new kind of pants that aren't super tight.
That would make sense, but then I'm sure if that's the case, he would have posted the photo. So that's why I'm confused.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe
It's just not, this post is not making sense. I'm not saying Fred's post because I haven't looked at Fred's post.
basically
I would like to.
Basically what he's saying is he's trying to make gymnastics less gay. I don't know what you're not getting.
No, I totally get that. I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't he post the pants if it's about the tights? All you're posting is the tank top, which you literally wore before. You always wore a tank top. You didn't even acknowledge the shirt or what you wear on your torso in the caption. He's totally, to me, it feels a little homophobic, a little transphobic, but like, whatever. Whatever.
I think the shirt is not as tight as their regular shirts are. Like, their regular shirts are pretty form fitting.
Okay, I just looked at Fred's Instagram. That's the only photo he posted, and it's the same photo. It's not cropped or anything.
And the lighting is horrible too. Like, the leotard is basically in the dark. My God.
Overhead lighting.
See, this is why I said I don't kind of like this, because to try to dim the light of the flamboyancy of gymnastics, this is why men's gymnastics is failing right now in America. Not so much in Russia, not so much in China, not so much in Japan. They lean into the flamboyancy of gymnastics. They realize gymnastics is not the most, I'm not going to say it's not masculine, but
it's an artistic sport.
Correct. So they lean into the artistry part of gymnastics. This is why you have the Russians doing leaps. They're not gay. Clear. Well, I don't
Wait,
think
which
so.
Russian mags are doing leaps?
Nikita
Some of them
Nagorny.
do like the leaps into like the end of the at the end of the floor routine, or
No, but that's not what Michaela's talking about. A barrel roll or like a corkscrew.
No, Nikita Nagorny was doing a Shushanova.
Alexei Naimov. He used to do a lot of them back in the day. I think the Russians was just the Europeans was just on a whole nother level when it came to their men. They made them take ballet classes and all that too.
If you're secure in your masculinity, you don't care what anyone says,
Oh,
and you can be as feminine as you want.
oh, you're preaching to the choir, Oscar. That's not just a gymnastics FYI. That's a life FYI.
But
When it
that's
comes,
kind of what harms USA men's gymnastics is that they lean into this
and college, you can add that to it too. The whole umbrella
good
of the
old boy, all American, I'm a real man thing, and they pick gymnasts based off of that because they don't want gymnastics to be so. How you doing? But if they lean into my laptop about to die. Hold on, everybody. But they need to lean into it because that will make their athletes better gymnasts. Like the flamboyancy, it doesn't have to be gay, but gymnastics is very flamboyant. It's very artistic. It's very balletic, just like figure skating.
But also, like, make your own style. Like, you can try something more masculine as long as it's good. I just had an
Masculine
idea.
is
Maybe I'm being
also artistic. That's the
yeah. It can be artistic, totally. I just had a thought I just wanted to put out there in case someone's like watching this and being like, wow, why is Oscar so slow? How does he not get it? Maybe this is a teaser for what the bottom half of the look is going to be like, and he just doesn't want to reveal it yet. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I kind of hope so.
But whatever it takes to make the men, whatever, feel comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, I like that he's trying to make young boys feel more comfortable. That's not a bad thing inherently.
But isn't the whole point of the men wearing like, and they're not even that tight, but tights is so they can see if their knees aren't straight or if their toes pointed. Like, isn't there a specific point in the men's leotard outfit? Like, isn't that why on Floor and Vault they get to wear shorts? Because
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because, okay, I'm reading the comments on the post from the original poster. Per the code of points, the mags are required to wear a singlet. So I had the word right, which is it's like a one-piece uniform, like they wear in wrestling. So they can take their pants and shorts off, but the singlet covers. It's like shorts underneath attached to the tank top. Pants on pommel horse, still rings, parallel bars, and high bar, shorts or pants on floor exercise and vault. Mags are also not allowed to wear pants, socks, or shoes that are black, navy, or otherwise dark color shades. The penalty for any uniform violation is a neutral deduction of 3/10 subtracted from a gymnast's final score for each competition session, applied by the superior jury president. And it should be noted that USA Gymnastics and NCAA both follow the FIG code.
Do y'all think Miss Gymnastics could ever go back to the 10.0 system?
I don't not as long as Donatella Sachi is like the women's technical president.
What was your question, Michaela? I'm sorry. I had veered off.
Do you think that the men's could go back to the 10.0 system and do less difficulty?
The men as a elite system or the college system?
The college system.
I don't think they will because for one, programs are getting cut, and for two, most of the U.S. gymnastics team are college. They come from the college ranks, or they're in both of them. They do elite and they compete for their schools while they're getting their education. So I don't see it. I think the committee is already happy with the guys being able to score 14s and 15s in college and then come and translate that over to the U.S. national team. So I don't see them changing it, especially if the Americans are going to start winning world and Olympic medals.
Why do you ask that question, Michaela?
Because that's the other thing with the open code. That means you would have to believe the open code. And I'm so sorry, USA Men's Gymnastics. Y'all are the fool for believing any one of those gymnasts could get those scores at a world or elite level competition.
What makes you think that they actually think they would, and it's not just like to inflate scores or whatever?
Because they keep picking their teams based on these results as well.
But they're trying to convince the world that those are the scores they would receive. It's like manifestation delusion.
This is why, I mean, at least it worked out for Steven Arajic, kind of, but this is why they believe Steven Arajic is a better gymnast than Coy Young, because Steven gets these ridiculously high pommel horse scores in college, and Coy does get high scores too, but not as high as Steven.
But it translated for Steven because he helped the team with his score and he won an individual Olympic medal. So
not unless Steven Schroeder in our midst.
Oh gosh, we gotta do this again because
he's been on the national stage in finals for that. So it has translated. It might be delusional at home, but domestically he scores well too. I love Coy too. If Coy would have been on that team, would they have won that bronze medal?
Yes,
no,
the same
would
way.
have won the silver medal.
Oh, okay.
Possibly. No, you're right, because this is the issue with Steven. Steven has one event, a great event, pommel horse. But then you have Coy, who is equally as good on pommel horse as Steven and has other events. This is why I don't understand why Steven was on that team over Coy. They would have either one of them could have won that bronze medal at the Olympics on pommel horse, and Coy also could have won a medal on vault and in the all around. It just made no sense.
Coy was just a little too inconsistent though, at the wrong time.
What? Steven was inconsistent.
His career, but a thing happened. Coy was falling apart in 2024.
He was inconsistent at the wrong time.
Steven had the best couple of national and Olympic trials of his life, doing half his. But see, this is my issue with
what
Steven.
people are so shocked for? He had been making world championship
because
teams,
Steven
right?
Was only doing half of his pommel horse routine at trials and nationals. He didn't start doing his whole pommel horse routine till the Olympic Games. That's why everybody was gassed.
Also, Steven, half of the worlds he went to, he flopped. He fell. Also, I just want to make sure you understand, Shayna. Sorry if you already do. I don't mean to be condescending or patronizing, but they didn't have like backups for any of the events if someone went down injured because he couldn't do anything.
Well, they gambled and it
But
paid off, huh? There
it
was
kind of
no
did.
way.
It
There
kind of
was
did.
no way no one was going to pass up China or Japan. Maybe, and Russia wasn't there, so they better be lucky Russia was banned. You know, and Coy got to step it. You know, excuse me if he's a follower, he got to step his pussy up if he wants to get any more international assignments. You
Oh,
know,
Shayna, we there there are people who we know follow that we say they need to step their pussy up.
and and I just I love his gymnastics too, but he was just a little too inconsistent, and it just
Well, I think
it,
Clay is hurt.
it worked out.
I don't think he's competing this year. I think he's hurt. I think he got hurt. I think you're right, Nisha.
Is he surged up?
I think he just had well, I think he had a surgery at the beginning of the year, and I think he's still trying to heal from there. Because when he posts, because he used to post very heavily on social media. He still posts just like other things now.
When are the boys and girls gonna like come back from their ACL surgery like with a new face also? If you're going under the knife.
Everybody can't be Madison coaching. Why did I say that out loud?
What's her name? Looked like she had got some work done too for LSU. Sari Morrison. And then I know she just recently like removed her breast implants because they were giving her issues. So there's a lot of surge girls in the world.
That's a gymnast?
Yeah, Sari Morrison was on the LSU team from 2011 and 2014.
Oh, I thought this was someone on the current team.
Oh no. I've been hearing people thinking that I've been seeing on some boards that they think Alexis Jeffrey done something to her face.
So there's this new hot tea, fresh, piping hot. Suni is replying to people in the comments saying that she begged USA Gymnastics to send her to the Baku World Cup so she could get her eponymous skill named after her. She even offered to pay for all of her flights because she knew USAG was too broke. And they said, no, we're going to send these girls who didn't even make it to Olympic trials instead.
They denied that ass.
I'm not surprised. USA Gymnastics is going to USA Gymnastics. It's like new face, new head coach, same story.
And since we're on Elite, did I read right? Betty Aquino has a new position within USAG?
Betty Aquino and Brian Carey.
Mm-hmm. I saw a little bit about Brian Carey. So is he still doing the Oregon State stuff or no? It's a null and void.
I'm not sure. I'd be curious to know also. I think he's back at USAG. He's the national head coach on floor and vault. And I think Betty Aquino's role is she's the head of the developmental program. So that would be the junior athletes, I think.
That's going to be great. Maybe she can bring back the artistry to the USA program.
I said this in the solo show, and I guess I will say it again here.
I didn't watch it.
Kinsley just said that Fred's his Leo will be revealed at Winter Cup. So you'll get to see the full Leo line at Winter Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And with Betty Aquino, because what she's doing is she's taking over Dan Baker's position. And he was the third person in charge of picking the World's and Olympics teams behind Chelsea and Alicia. So now the three people
Are you certain that Dan Baker was also the head of the developmental program?
No, he was the head of the artists.
Because that's what Betty Okino is doing.
Whatever Dan Baker's position was in USA Gymnastics, that's not what Betty Okino's job is. Whatever the hell that was.
I'm not certain.
So she's basically the third.
I think they added her to something, right? Or did she take his spot?
Because I read that she's just the developmental head coach and she's not in charge of picking teams.
Let's look it up. Somebody look it up, please. Because I swear, I think she's the third person in charge behind Alicia and Chelsea.
Betty Okino named as U.S. Women's Program Developmental Lead. Maybe that's different from the developmental program. I'm skimming through. Oh my gosh, I need to eat my words and apologize to Michaela. I'm so sorry. It says that with her appointment, Okino joins technical lead Chelsea Memo and strategic lead Alicia Sacramone Quinn on the women's high performance leadership team. This is why you don't get your information from Twitter or random Twitter users. Okino has been a member of the U.S. Women's Program National Team clinician since 2018, attending training camps and competitions, helping athletes with technique, artistry, and choreography, allegedly.
Wow.
So I'm so sorry. I hope you can accept my apology.
I accept it because I knew I was right. So, so yes, Betty Okino is the third person in charge behind Chelsea and Alicia. I think it goes Alicia, Chelsea, then Betty. I think that's because Alicia definitely gets to pick the teams.
So basically, Betty's going to pick the teams the next time Alicia and Chelsea are pregnant at the same time.
Basically,
oh my God. You're crazy, Oscar. So what happened with Baker? Did he get fired or he left?
I don't think he got
2 years. He only been in that position 2 years, you know.
I don't know.
They got those positions after Tokyo, right? In 2022.
That's how long Valerie Lukin was in charge.
True. Well, okay, so let me say what I'm for the saying. This is controversial. First of all, I want to say I love Betty Okino down, so I'm not trying to talk shit about her on this great Black History Month, but I have to just be honest. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. I don't like this whatsoever. With USA Gymnastics as a fan, I'm 43 years old. You can't pull the wool over my eyes by keep giving certain gymnasts certain positions and everybody's supposed to just go up for it because they love these people in their old gymnastics. I see past this shit now. And what keeps happening to me, in my opinion, with USA Gymnastics is they keep promoting people who was already involved in the corruption in the first place. Am I saying Betty Okino was involved in the corruption? No. But what I am saying is Betty Okino was literally raised by Marta and Bella Caroli, and those were her elite gymnastics coaches, right? So if we want people who are going to be different and we want a different regime or a different government, a different culture in USA Gymnastics, they're going to have to start picking from a different group of people. Just like I say, if China wants to compete, they're going to have to start picking a different body type. If USA Gymnastics want to survive, they're going to have to start picking a different type of leader. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Betty Okino, but you literally have 3 Marta Caroli gymnasts as the leaders of USA Gymnastics, who is supposed to be so different than Marta Caroli, but you have 3 Marta Caroli gymnasts as the leaders of you. Like, does that make sense to y'all? Like, you have 3 of her.
Perfect sense. And you've been saying it for years.
You have 3 of Marta Caroli's gymnasts as the leaders of USA Gymnastics. And look at Kim Zemesco and all the abuse and shit that she has gotten from her angle as a leader of one of the major gyms in the country, right? You can't trust these former gymnasts because it seems like USA Gymnastics.
They're recycling the abuse. Like
they learn.
Let's not forget Betty Okino. I mean, push back on this if you think it's unfair to criticize someone who was potentially abused themselves, but she took the opportunity to criticize Michaela Maroney for doing a full interview about her abusive experiences at USA Gymnastics. That will never sit right with me.
But that's what USA Gymnastics do. They always hire people who I'm not going to say they never hire people who are critical of them. They only hire people who either say nothing or who say positive things about them. And
that's why they hate Swiker.
Do you think that Betty Okino being hired in this position is any worse or better than Alicia and Chelsea being hired?
I mean, I think Alicia's was the worst. That bitch shouldn't be nowhere near USAG. Oh, excuse me, Lord have mercy.
Wait, Shayna, why do you think that? Because we all have different reference points.
Wasn't she the one that told Michaela Maroney in that car? Maggie
yeah,
Nichols
Shayna used to listen to me at it. Shayna knows.
I just wanted to make sure we had the same reference point because that's what I thought of. She said, "You better shut up and never ever say anything about them again."
She's not a girl's girl, so she was underneath the regime of abuse.
Now let's before we get sued, it could have been Anna Lee too. It was either Chelsea or Anna Lee. It was either,
and she's another one with abuse allegations. So
you mean Alicia?
It was
or Anna Lee?
It was. I'm so sorry. It was either Alicia Sacramone or Anna Lee. One of Jordan, Michaela Maroney won't ever spill that tea, but it was one of them too. And
they literally said it was a gymnast that they looked up to, right?
Correct.
And look up to Anna Lee.
They ain't look up to no damn Anna Lee. Come on.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
They looked up,
but could have been. She was way older than them at the time, so it could have been.
Allegedly, let's say that allegedly. On the T is,
but I believe
court documents.
But I believe it was Alicia Sacramone though. Because it wouldn't be no T if it was Anna Lee. They would just say it was Anna Lee. It's T with Alicia Sacramone.
And then now she's over it. She has this position. I don't know. Has Chelsea ever been in any type of abuse? And never spoke out about anything?
No, but this is my issue with Chelsea. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you used to watch the show with me and Addis. You heard me say this before, so I'm going to say it again on this show. Bridget, I'm so sorry. You're the only one that is excluded from this, kinda. And Bridget, you know I love you down, so don't unfollow me and don't block me. Oh gosh, I'm trying to fuck up my relationship. Just slow say this shit out loud. But this is just how I feel. I'm so sorry. Almost everybody from that 2018, I don't trust. Almost every, except for Bridget Sloan, is my only exception.
World champion Bridget
Sloan. Almost
everybody.
Not even Sean.
Please come on the show, Bridget Sloan, and set the record straight. Give us that exclusive.
Not Sean.
I would never ask you about none of this, especially not Sean. Hell no. And this is why. That 2008 team is the only team that every single team member has publicly said no abuse has ever happened to them in the sport of gymnastics. And it's just very peculiar to me that each one of them are a part of USA Gymnastics. Like, as soon as Nastia retired, they fired Elfie and gave Nastia that job. And then when Nastia was like, you know what, fuck y'all, they gave it to Sam.
They gave her
like
the Lucan cup. They gave her a whole competition named after her.
With Sam, they give her all the NCAA competitions to commentate. With Alicia, they give her all the NCAA competitions to commentate. With Bridget,
NBC
but
too.
But with Bridget, this is why I'm saying it's different because Bridget was actually a Florida Gator, so it makes sense for Bridget to have these positions. Like
Sam,
that's why with Bridget it's kind of different for me. But with all of these other girls, they've been so public of nothing ever happened to me. No, nothing, not me. Not, But the gag is 3 out of the 5, 6 gymnasts on the team, y'all parents was y'all coaches. So if I am to believe that nothing has happened to nobody on this 08 team, then I'm to believe y'all parents had to know to stop Larry from doing anything to y'all, because that's the only way that can make sense to me. Is that why is this the only team? Larry Nassar was real nasty in 2000, real nasty in 2004, skipped the whole 08 team, and then really turned up on the 2012 team and the 2016 team to the point where he finally gets caught. Like, so what is it about that 08 team?
What about if they
that
what if
stopped?
they just
maybe they signed NDAs.
what if they're just not being truthful?
Which is another thing that I absolutely believe.
What if they're lying because they don't want to, they feel guilty about how that would make their parents, their coaches feel? That they were that neglectful
It's
in front of them.
possible. It's possible, but I kind of believe either one or two things. Either their parents was able to stop any abuse from happening because they absolutely knew it was happening, and they knew enough to make sure it was not happening to their daughters.
Oh, like, bitch,
or
touch my motherfucking daughter.
Or the girls are lying because they signed NDAs with USA Gymnastics, and USA Gymnastics is just taking care of this group of gymnasts way deeper than they are the other groups. And I would like to know why for that, if that's the answer
and
too.
Shout out
but either way, it's
not that it was involved in bringing that to the light. Who was the initial news people? The Indianapolis Star, somebody that started putting it out there to make it what it was. Shout out to those reporters. Shout out to those judges and those people that really had those girls back, because you had a culture of abuse. You had a culture of it, and shame. And I'm like Michaela, shame on these people that are not speaking up. But I look at that with like the Diddy situation and some of the members of like his former artists who cannot ever speak on those things now because they did sign NDAs. So it may be that some of those gymnasts and their parents did as well.
It just like none of the like in the gag is about that 18. I'm so sorry once again, Bridget. I'm not trying to read your team, but they didn't even win the Olympics. So why do they have all of this damn? I mean, all the commentating spots go to this 08 team. All two out of the 3 damn national team head coaches are from this 08 team. So you mean 2 out of the 3 out of the 6 girls from that 08 team, 2 of them are the national team coordinators. 2 of them are damn the NCAA commentators. Shawn Johnson over there is damn internet queen. Nastia over there being her weird model thing that she's doing now. Like it's just
But Nastia doesn't have kids, Sam doesn't have children. They are in their, grown woman get their bag era. Alicia, of course, had 1 million children, and Sean is starting to catch up with her. But I think you're just being a little too hard on the 08 girls, because I also feel like that was has Courtney Coupettes, Taryn Humphrey, Tasha Swikert, Kristen Maloney, Elise Ray. Have they ever come forward about any allegation?
it's not just about those individuals. It's the whole team. That's what I'm saying, though. Like everybody, like each one of these years, it's somebody from each team that's like something happened to me and I want to talk about it. So I'm not saying that's anybody has to do that. That's everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. It's just really strange how the team that was coached by the most parents is the team that nothing happened
or
to
maybe,
nobody.
I mean, they had to have known about it, but were they going to be the ones to blow up USAG? Well, it ain't happened to my daughter, so it better not happen to her.
And see, and that's the other gap because a lot of the parents are still coaching. So if you can protect your daughter from this, why didn't you protect the rest of the girls? Like, it just goes into a whole
shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and all these theories about why it happened and how it happened.
Correct. It's just again, like I'm saying, I don't
look
wish
at all
anything.
Jay Carey has never come out with. I don't.
But Jay Carey happened after
all of that, though, with her.
Yeah. But it's just very. It's just
because you would make it seem like it's like all of them, but you look at the 2000 squad: Jeanette Antlin, Jamie Dancher. They're pretty much the only two from that squad. Nobody from '96 ever talked about anything happening, and you see him helping Carrie, getting Carrie off of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon Miller can sit up there and say all she wants to that nothing happened, but in 2000 at the Olympic trials when she fell and hurt herself on vault, and Steve Nuno told her, "Please stop crying before we have to go back there and see Larry Nassar to work on your leg," and the way Shannon just changed, her whole attitude changed, man.
No, it was like
I'm like,
she was on the mat on her back and she wouldn't get up, crying, and Steve was like, can you get up? And she was not getting up, and he was like, okay, well, if you can't get up, we're going to have to go to the back with Larry. And she just stood up. Like, no.
Like, have you ever seen that clip before, Shayna?
When was this? 2000 Olympic trials?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Y'all talk. We could have watched this. I'm going to find this. Go. Wait, how would I find that? Have I ever posted that before?
I can look for it.
And they failed those gymnasts. They failed those little girls.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of the times, especially with that SA stuff in gymnastics, it just goes so deep that I don't trust. I don't even trust that Larry Nassar was the only one doing it to them, because the way everybody just piled onto Larry, I'm not saying he was an easy target. It's just,
well, Michaela,
you can't tell me he was out here.
Sorry.
SA and all of these people, and nobody knew about this. Like, if it was like 6, I could then be like, okay, nobody knew. But it's like 500 people. Like,
I still think you're a little hard on the 2008 girls, because those are their parents. It's one thing to listen to your coaches, listen to the national team coordinators, but you don't want to go against your parents, regardless of what they know or do know. And at the time, those young ladies were children still.
That's what I was thinking when I brought that up earlier.
So you can, even if they wasn't directly affected or getting abused, if their parents say, shut up, don't say nothing, that's what they're going to do. Is it wrong? Yes. But how many times in the real world, outside of gymnastics, that people do stuff because of their parents? Well, that's how racism and oppression and all of those things continue to cycle.
But see, I don't. See, Shayna, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to push back against you, sister, because if you're going to sit up here and tell me that...
Child is not going to go against their parents, Michaela. Sorry, they're not.
I'm so sorry. Alicia Saxon. Ooh, Chelsea, remember, you're the one who's going to get thrown under the most in this one. If if Eddie Milmo was telling Chelsea to shut up and not say anything about any abuse that ever happened to her, then why should I trust her in position of power of children who have to deal? That's what I'm talking about, that cycle of abuse shit. This is why I don't trust the former gymnasts to have these leadership positions because of that cycle of abuse.
Right.
I don't trust them.
But the thing is they were
I don't
the
trust
ones. They were complicit in it if they, didn't speak up, but they weren't the ones causing the abuse.
No,
Chelsea, Chelsea and Alicia wasn't.
What we believe about
blame the parents.
acrimony.
Blame the adults, the parents.
Once you get brainwashed into the system, I don't trust you to now run the system.
I don't think any of us three were saying that the gymnasts were to blame for the abuse.
No. And that's what y'all hearing.
Cycle of abuse, and now they're in these positions like that. Like, why do these specific gymnasts have this position?
Correct. When like Dominique Mucianu said she applied for all 3 jobs, and they looked her over.
Gotta hang it up. She was one of the main people talking about how they did shit. And you want a job there? I would look at you crazy. Like, why would you want to come back?
But she's the main. She's that type of person that I think they need to hire because she's one of the ones who always have been talking about the abuse.
Michaela, going back to something you just said, there would be a lot more information if one of the main people who enabled Larry Nassar's abuse and possibly other abusers that we're not aware of, if they hadn't literally taken their own life when they were facing charges in jail.
Period.
Like, that's like putting Maggie Nichols saying, you know what, I want to come run USAG. Like, that doesn't look right. That's not a good look either.
And let's just note that was Jordan Weber's coach, but also a good friend of Bridget Sloan's coach. Now, Bridget Sloan's coach didn't take his own life, but I think they were pretty good friends, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And I think Bridget Sloan coach has been banned from coaching.
Yeah, his name is Marvin Sharp, and obviously we're talking about John Geddert is the one who enabled Nassar.
They all did. Marta and Bella too. Shit.
I mean, and if John, I wish John Geddert could sit up here and say he didn't know, because there is no way that he did not know and sacrifice his
and that fat bitch Steve Penny too. I can't stand him.
Steve Penny is the one that I think was.
You gotta watch the video too. You gotta watch I want to see the video when they awarded the 2000 team their bronze medals and Jamie Dancer was like,
with Tasha Schweiker. Okay, yeah, we can watch that too. Okay.
But then there's literally there's an interview she did where she literally said, I wasn't trying to she literally, like, there's an interview I watched where she was like, I wasn't rejecting his hug, and when I whispered to him, I was literally just saying like nice to see you or something. It was so confusing to me. But I might be misremembering.
Yeah, because that's not what happened, Tasha Schweiker. Like, see, that's the shit I'm talking about, Shayna. Like, I can see you sit up there, and when Steve Penny tried to touch you, you physically revolted yourself and looked at him like, no, don't touch me. Like, he did something to you. I'm not trying to sue. Tasha, you are a lawyer. Don't sue me, girl. I'm just saying, I see with my eyes this happened. Like, okay, let's play this one.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
It's almost 5 minutes.
We're live in Boston where just moments ago, the amazing career of Shannon Miller hit the crossroad. Her very first vault. As she came here to Boston to compete in the Olympic trials, she did so on a bad right leg.
Okay. Right?
Okay? The same use? Yes, okay. No, Debbie, we're gonna get her into the back room, okay? No. Hold on, we're just gonna get her. Stand up first.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough. Okay.
This is gutsy stuff. Is it the same stress fracture in the knee, or is it something different?
One thing's that for sure, if it can be done, Shannon's the one that'll do it.
You want to take a third run down? Just
Husband
a run
Chris
down,
Phillips.
Run the way back?
Huh? Let's just run on the way back, all right?
What are her options here, guys?
Well, actually, what she can do, believe it or not, she has the option of running down the vault.
Well, here's what you got to do. If you're going to run down there and it feels awkward, you run by the horse. You got 3 runs. You got it?
Yeah.
So you run down there, you run by the horse. If it's not fast enough, if it feels good, you go ahead and do it. If not, you're out of the meet. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the difference. So you run by the horse or you pop it up there and go. There's no halfway.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay.
She actually can run by the horse. She has that option, can walk right back, do it again, no deduction. Sounded like that's what Steve was saying first off, and then he decided maybe that's just too risky.
She had no U.S. nationals. These Olympic trials, these 2 days, the toughest gymnastics test that she's had in 3 years, were to determine her Olympic dream.
And Steve Nuno complained to me before the meet began, said she's the only one here who's got to go through 3 meets. She had to be verified just to be in the meet before this one even got going. Was very frustrated with that.
She survived it. But now, a limp. A very noticeable limp.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on to my shoulder. Okay. Okay. Good try. All right.
I never want to close my arms up again.
It was the weirdest thing. You just pulled it down. Okay? Right?
The exact
I
thing
want to
we
go into
saw.
the training room.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, I want to turn and go to the training room. All right? All right, let's just, let's get, yeah, let's do that, okay? All right, here we go.
So, Shannon Miller went to the training room here at the Fleet Center in Boston. What news comes out is still to come as an amazing night gets started.
It's a risk. If you are going to be considered, you have to be considered healthy, okay? So I don't want to do any further if there's any stiffness or, you know.
I think I can end it there. So I slightly misremembered it. I want to acknowledge that. I was exaggerating. They never named Larry. It was all reading between the lines.
Yeah, but it's still, as soon as they were like, okay, we gotta go in the bed, she was like, nope.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Nope. Let me get the fuck up right now.
Mm-mm.
And then you saw how she looked at Larry when he was right next to her.
When he touched her, she was like, don't touch me.
She looked disgusted. Well, that's some herstory. Some very
So I'm
sad
just saying,
herstory.
that
Are
is
we
some
going to
very
find
sad
Tasha twice? When did they do the medal ceremony for that? What year was that?
Oh, you want to watch
2010.
that?
Oscar, do you find?
Yeah.
Yes, please. That's another.
We being messy. We're going.
And I'm watching. We're being messy, but we're watching all of this because it's like these people have been around for years. This isn't some new shit that just started in 2016. Like, you see this Larry Nassar shit. This was 2000. And Jamie Dadger and them already said Larry Nassar was doing stuff to them in 2000. So
he was doing
it's bigger than it's
doing this stuff to gymnasts in the 90s at Michigan State. Well before he became USA Gymnastics.
And then even before Larry Nassar, there was this coach named Don Peters who also was SAing gymnast too. So this is not some new thing that USA Gym. This is why I'm saying I thoroughly believe it's bigger than Larry Nassar.
It's given like you know, what's the stuff Diddy is accused of? You know,
Sexual trafficking?
yeah, trafficking. That's what it's giving.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Should I play it?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the XL Center and day one of the 2010 Visa Championships. We begin tonight's festivities with a very special presentation featuring the athletes that proudly represented the USA in Sydney, Australia at the 2000 Olympic Games. On April 28, 2010, the International Olympic Committee ruled that the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games women's gymnastics team bronze medal be awarded to the United States of America. Please welcome the 6 members of the 2000 U.S. Women's Olympic Gymnastics team as they enter the arena for their official medal ceremony presentation. Accompanying the team and presenting the awards are Anita de France, Senior International Olympic Committee member in the United States, and Steve Penny, President and CEO of USA Gymnastics.
Why did I think Elise Ray was Dominique Moceanu?
No.
Joining them are Mike English, Chief of Sports Performance for the U.S. Olympic Committee, and Michael Lynch, Head of Global Sponsorship Management for Visa.
What'd you say? Who's the 7th one?
She was just walking them out.
Oh, okay. He was like, is that the alternate? Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. You have to reshare it.
I got you.
With a total of 152.933 points, earning the team bronze medal, the 2000 U.S. Women's Olympic Gymnastics team.
I think it looked like.
Amy Chow.
Thank you.
Jamie Dancher.
Oh, she gave him the call shorty too. I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
Dominique Dawes.
I'm gonna look good too.
Three for three in those team performances.
I don't know how. It's crazy. Thank you, Steve.
No.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you.
Kristen Maloney.
Wait, I can't hear what you're saying.
I don't understand the need to hug and kiss everybody after they got their medals from Steve Penny. Like,
It's
just so weird,
inappropriate.
Like, what? I saw this before, but this whole thing is just very weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird, and Kristen Maloney has talked about how weird it was.
Her and Elise look embarrassed. Jamie D'Angelo looked like she could have just cut him with a knife. And I remember saying this.
I didn't realize how bad Jamie Danger was also mean mugging that man during this whole thing. Like,
because they were saying that girl was a whore and all that kind of stuff. You know, she remembered all that. You know, they put her through the ringer.
Steve Penny just wanted to look good.
Elise Ray.
Elise look good with that black. What is he saying?
What do you think he said?
No, can you pause it again? Because this is why is the woman she put the medal around their neck and shake their hands and walk off, right? Why then is it the men who are coming up and hugging and kissing these girls? Like, they're not girls at this point; they're grown ass women.
To put them in their place.
To put them in their place, to groom them. That's what they used to doing, you know. Power.
But not with Miss Tasha Schweikert. Not with my sis. My sis took let the boys go.
Tasha Schweikert.
She gave him a kiss. She said, "Steve, don't even try it.
Don't do it. Don't do it." He was like, something, my friend. And she looked up at him and said, "Don't do it."
Mm-hmm.
That's that black woman energy, baby.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
ma'am. And Jamie got a little black in her too. I know. Look how she was mean mugging his ass. But Tasha was gonna tell you, baby. And Tasha's a mix. She's a mix. But that black woman came out.
We don't need to finish it, right?
No, that was it.
Girl,
that was
yes. I always want to go back to that. After all the shit came out, I don't know why I went back to that. I used to go back and watch it. So when we were going back watching like crazy shit, I was like, yeah, this is one of those moments, weird and awkward.
The audacity.
It makes me weird. It just makes me wonder, and it doesn't even make me wonder. I kind of already know, but the depths and the levels of who knew what and when, because it's them damn coaches. Like, it's just too many coaches that aren't. It's like, if you're telling me that I have to give you my child in order for them to be a great gymnast, and I do give you them, and you let this happen to them, I'm supposed to shoot you in the face or something. Like, I don't know. It's just too many. It's too many adults that act like they are just non-involved, non-invoid, and don't know what happened and just is so gagged. And it's just like, it's too many of y'all to be gagged. It's too many victims for y'all to be gagged. Like, and it's been going on for too long. Like, I don't know. But going back to the meats and potatoes, how we started this with Betty Okino, I wish you well. It's just you would not be my personal choice, but I love you, and I hope this really works out for you.
So who would be your choices for these positions?
At this point, I don't know who the hell I would trust in USA. I would hire people who had nothing to do with gymnastics and just teach them about gymnastics, because I just don't trust the gymnastics community to keep governing the gymnasts, and I just don't.
Well, that's like, I don't think the sport will sustain if you can't keep people that were in it to run it, You got
I know that's the sad part.
That's in all the sports though. Like most basketball people or basketball people. So it's like it's just and who knows, like I don't know why. I'm sure there's been other incidents of abuse amongst athletes in other sports. I don't know why gymnastics was so like big and just popular and all over the TVs and
it's
for
the
number of years that it went on and the abuse. Because Kayla, I did not know none of this was going on. Like really, up until like this stuff started coming out. That wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years ago. We're older. We've been watching gymnastics almost 30 years, if not. So I didn't know these things were going on behind the scenes. And me being a child watching it, I always just was kind of uneasy on how they portrayed Vanessa Adler. It will never change for me how they portrayed that girl. And then when she went on a show with Ayanla back in the day, like after her gymnastics career.
I used to watch that show.
I forgot what it was called, but she was damaged from a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you should listen to her interviews if you haven't already.
So, but I never got like abuse, and especially sexual abuse from it. I just got that they made it seem like, just in her instance, she can't do bars. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. And Tim Daggett and Elvis Sager with they sickening asses talking about this child on a TV screen for a story.
And this is why I'm saying I did, and I don't know nothing about it because, again, I don't think she's ever said that anything like that has happened to her. Other abuse, yes, but that maybe not. And I don't know how I can put this.
And I
how much
sports,
she after gymnastics and how quickly she gained the weight after gymnastics. It kind of gave. How sometimes with some women, when something happens to them sexually, they start to put on weight so people won't look at them. It kind of gave that for me with Vanessa.
Yeah, they kind of just let themselves go because they didn't want any attention. The sexier you are, the more attention you get.
Yeah. That was one of Vanessa's struggles. Even now, with her weight and keeping the weight off and like.
And I don't know, is this common, since we're like going through the gymnastics, do you think their the rigorous training regimens and whatever they have them doing, basically starving? I always got eating disorders and starving and bulimia from gymnastics. I always understood that aspect of it. Do you think that stunted their growth? Because these are developing young people, in this type of sport compared to basketball.
Absolutely. I don't know who it was, but I remember it was a gymnast who said that she never could have a normal menstrual cycle as an adult because of all the stuff. Like her coaches trying to keep her from having a period because they never wanted her to go through puberty to develop and stuff. So, I think and I think this is again why so many of the gymnasts once they become adults still have such a childlike mind set.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but something like Kathy Rigby, no tea, no shade to you, but it was really kind of working my nerves with her once she became 40 and 50 and still kept doing that little girl shit. I'm like, girl, you ain't been a
I'm the same
gymnast
way
since
with Leanne Wong with this damn bow in her head. Like, please.
Oh my God, I cannot stand that.
I don't like it either. She's
No,
too old
Leanne,
for that.
Get your money. Get your money, Leanne. Get your money. I'm not telling you not to get your money. I'm just telling me personally. I agree with you 100%, Shayna. It's just create other kind of hair accessories, but this whole stuck on bullshit but that's what they breed the girls to be kind of stuck in their childlike mindset, even
and
adults and
cater to their audience. So that's why I feel like the 10-0 system will always be in NCAA because of things like this. Leanne Wong at her grown age with this bow in her head.
And it's like,
and I guess it might be, what she's comfortable doing. And I'm all for people being comfortable, but it's just like, I don't know. It's crazy. What did I see you had, did you speak about why, and I don't know because I was so busy today, why they're moving up the NQS a week in advance?
my only understanding is it's the 6 weeks, so they have 6 scores to do the NQS now. That's my only understanding. I don't know.
Because what difference does it make when the NQS is still based off of all? I'm gonna have to read up on it, and if we do the show tomorrow, I'll be able to answer it. Because it just makes no sense. Why would y'all start calculating NQS a week ahead when majority of the teams are not going to have enough weight scores to even fill the NQS? Like, it be certain stuff that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll try to understand it whenever I have time tomorrow, because I'm getting sleepy.
I am too. I think this is a good point of the show. Oscar, are you still there? I think Oscar done.
I'm super sleepy.
He might have. I was gonna say he might have did one of my numbers because I dead ass have fallen asleep like twice on the show.
When me and Addis used to do the show together, man, I used to always fall asleep on that bitch and come back. But see, now I have to pay attention, so I just stop the show when I start getting sleepy, and it's at that point. So we've given you all a very entertaining 3-hour show.
Yes.
Go back and watch the beginning to see our NCAA preview. LSU in Oklahoma, that's the one. LSU in Oklahoma, that's the one. That's the one. You don't watch no other.
It's the 1, the 2, and the 3.
That's the 1, the 2, and the 3. That's the meat and potatoes. Other meats are cute, but that's gonna be the one. With that being said, we love you all. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Maybe tomorrow, but I can't promise y'all. But most likely Monday. But maybe, or hell, I may be inspired to talk about some random shit from yesteryear again.
Who
I don't
knows
know.
what gymnastics news is gonna drop in the next 24 hours?
Because it'd be so much. I haven't been on Twitter or anything since we started the show, so I don't know what has transpired in these last 3 hours. You don't know who has watched us, who has an opinion, and is going to, disclose it in their comment behind their page. But I be feeling like people be watching us and then be saying stuff on that Twitter app there, or that X app.
Especially, this was a extra messy show, so everyone be checking vigilant with their email inbox and their mailbox, because we might be served some papers.
Bridget Sloan, I love you down. Please don't hate me. I love you down.
We love you too, Fred Richard. We love you too, Fred Richard.
Fred Richards, I love you down. It's just, I think you're Fred. I think it's kind of homophobic, but I understand what you're doing. It's just, you might as well just say, I'm trying to make it less fruity and just move on. Like,
and shout out to Tasha Swikert. I love her too.
Shout out to Tasha Schweiker.
We love you.
Yes.
Down, Tasha Schweiker. I love your family. I love that you married a black man. You have all these beautiful brown gymnasts, and you're attorney at law, even though
she was too brown for UCLA. But that's another story.
Any lawyers that watch our show, please be in touch. We might need your help.
No.
Keep us in your prayers.
That's why we went back and said allegedly to cover ourselves.
And nothing is fact. We're not saying that we wish some harm on the hell, we're not even saying that everybody on the 08 team, nothing has happened, because we don't know. They just don't talk about it. And those girls' rights. And we're just trying to, at least for me, all I'm trying to do is be nosy, clearly, but figure out who knew what when, because that helps me to, when people ask me who's a good coach, and right now I'm gonna say nobody.
Yeah,
I don't trust none of them bitches.
I've heard terrible things about many of them. Many of those coaches.
It would be naive of any of us to think that there are good coaches out there just because we haven't heard about their bad experiences.
And I'm like Michaela, we need to try to better understand when, what, who, why, and how, so we don't continue the cycle.
And as a fan, this is beyond, you all as a fan, I don't want to watch and support people who are actively abusing y'all. So if y'all not speaking on it,
shame on y'all.
When we support the people, y'all can't be so upset that we're supporting the people when we don't know what happened. You all have to be more. Well, I mean, if you sign something, but it has to be a little bit more transparent with the fans. We are not the children who you need to protect. We understand what life is, and it's too many of y'all. It's too many coaches that are parents that I just. It's just too. It's just been too much going on for too long, and I just think it's time for.
Because before you was a coach, you was a parent, and before you was a parent, you was a person. And I'm like Michaela. I'm like Michaela. It has to be transparency. And you start to wonder how basically every team by 2000 and 2004, then you skip to 2008 and 12, 16 have been abused. But why this whole team? No one has come out and said anything.
It's just weird. It's And it's something that is
none of them are at those testimonies. None of them have publicly spoken out to support athlete A.
well, they've supported, but none of them is like. And then hell, some of them on the 08 team actively are blocking some of the people getting justice. Nastia Liukin, Mary Lou Retton, like it's just.
That just sucks.
And then it's just for me the final thought, and now I'm gonna let it go again for another year or so.
Mm-hmm.
The main person who I believe betrayed Michaela Maroney when she was reaching out for help the most is the one that y'all made national team coordinator. That's just
who was of age at the time. So she was legally an adult when this child reached out to you, and you tell her to shut up, and then y'all throw Rhonda Fain, which she ain't no better. You just say to hell with her, but then you give this girl this big position.
And how can Rhonda Fain be so exiled from the sport, but Valerie Liukin can coach gymnasts still? Like it just.
She's just a scapegoat.
Well, we'll have a lot more to talk about tomorrow. It's been nice. I love y'all good people and good fans that's been watching. I love the community. But I'm tired and I'm finna go to bed.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Good night. Bye, you guys. I'm actually going to play the outro tonight, you guys. I remembered. If I can find her. If I can't find her, then I ain't going to worry about it. Is it this one? It's this one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of